5 o'clock is our time. San Antonio's first news. Good Wednesday morning. I'm Charity McCurdy. Among our top stories, heavy rainfall is expected as a result of potential tropical storm Alberto. President Biden unveils new immigration measures, and Baseball Hall of Famer Willie Mays has died. Details ahead. First, traffic and weather together every 10 minutes in mornings. Your Weather Channel forecast for this Wednesday: showers this morning becoming steady throughout the day with at least an inch of rain expected, a high of only 82. Another half of inch of rainfall tonight, a low of 75. Right now, 77 degrees. Well, Texas is bracing for the first real taste of the hurricane season. Fox Weather's Robert Ray reports from Corpus Christi.
A tropical system that's been developing for days in the Gulf of Mexico, and the National Hurricane Center expects it to become Tropical Storm Alberto. Now, though the cone will likely hit Mexico about 400 miles to the south of Corpus Christi, the effects and the impacts will be felt along the Texas coast and even into southwest Louisiana. That includes 2 to 4 feet of storm surge in places like Padre Island and Corpus Christi, and the potential for up to a foot of rain. What that will cause is flash flooding scenarios in an area that has not seen a lot of precipitation in the last few months. In Corpus Christi, Robert Ray, Fox Weather.
Meantime, these coastal Bend residents told Chris TV they're ready.
I'm crazy enough to come out here while it's storming. I don't care.
Some people went out fishing. A lot of the guides canceled their trips and stuff. You know, people just getting their boats out of the water and stuff so they don't float away and stuff.
San Patricio County Judge David Krebs says any evacuations will be voluntary.
The public knows what area they live in and what areas are prone to flooding. So that's why it's going to be voluntary.
And the highest rainfall potential is south of us, but 2 to 4 inches is possible around San Antonio. Well, President Biden is clearing the way for tens of thousands of undocumented immigrants married to U.S. citizens to stay in the country. Fox's Jared Halpern has more on Decision 2024.
The president says it is a false choice to either have a secure border or pathways to citizenship for undocumented immigrants.
Folks, I'm not interested in playing politics with the border or immigration. I'm interested in fixing it.
A new executive order will shield undocumented immigrants who have lived in the U.S. for at least 10 years and are married to a U.S. citizen protection from deportation while applying for legal status. It comes 2 weeks after President Biden signed an order restricting asylum claims when border crossings hit certain thresholds. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Speaking to Fox's Hannity, Governor Abbott believes this would not solve the issue and will only make things worse.
What that shows to the entire world is come to the border as quickly as you can, because it's possible that you too may be able to get amnesty. So this is nothing more than a magnet that will actually increase illegal immigration.
Meantime, former President Trump touched on the issue while campaigning in Racine, Wisconsin yesterday.
Joe Biden wants to be the president for illegal aliens, but I will be the president for law-abiding Americans, every background, every walk of life, every race, religion, color, and creed. I'll be the president.
Immigration remains one of the top voter issues ahead of the November election. Well, Russian President Vladimir Putin is in North Korea for a rare 2-day visit. Here's Fox's Jonathan Savage.
Before an audience of thousands, Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un strode down Pyongyang's main square. Ranks of pristine military personnel on one side of the red carpet, an equally regimented group of children cheering on the other. A welcome ceremony to show Russia and North Korea are closer than ever. At talks, Chairman Kim promised full support for Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the leader signing a document to formalize their alliance. Those illicit arms deals the West accuses them of will not be celebrated so publicly. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
A teen is in custody accused of killing his mother with a shotgun on the west side. San Antonio police responded around 2 p.m. yesterday to a home on Delgado Street where officers found the woman dead in the front yard. The woman's 15-year-old son had reportedly shot her in the back of the head with a shotgun. The teen suspect tried to run to another house after the shooting, but officers arrested him and recovered the shotgun. Well, one of the greatest sports idols in American history, Baseball Hall of Famer Willie Mays, has died at the age of 93.
Willie Howard Mays was born in Westfield, Alabama in 1931. He began his big league career with the New York Giants in 1951. Mays was drafted into the Army a year later, but returned to the Giants in 1954 and helped his team to the World Series. He continued his greatness for years after the Giants moved across country to San Francisco, but as an aging 41-year-old, he was traded back to New York. His number 24 is retired by the Giants. He has a spot on Major League Baseball's all-time team and was presented a Presidential Medal of Freedom. All those years he played the game, Mays recalls that
I didn't play for me. I knew what I had to do, but my job was to make sure that the left fielder and right fielder understood about the game.
Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Well, there won't be any regular mail delivery today as the United States Postal Service observes Juneteenth. Most municipal offices in San Antonio will be closed, but garbage collection will operate on a normal schedule. Wall Street and banks are closed today, but most retailers are open. Juneteenth commemorates the end of slavery in the U.S. It is 5:07, news at the top and bottom of every hour, along with breaking news as it happens. I'm Charity McCurdy. Traffic and weather coming up.
Hello, everybody. Hector Gomez, Sam Tobias, Rooster Martinez, Ray Reyes, and Tracy Bogert, the chairman of the Bexar County MAGA Republicans, coronavirus deniers, flat earthers, and Marjorie Taylor Greene enthusiasts, and Jewish space laser believers. Welcome in, Tracy Bogert. Charity McCurdy is in here texting or messaging, chatting, whatever the case may be. The NBA draft a week from today.
Spurs have the 2nd and 6th pick, I believe.
That was 4th and 8th.
4th and 8th. I'm giving them 2nd now.
Okay.
Fuck. I'm giving them 2nd.
Spurs fans, the future's so bright. I'm wearing shades.
That's a good question. What are the Spurs picks? 4 and 8, I think sounds right.
I think it's 4 and 8.
Yeah. Say hey, hey, Willie.
Beware of rain today. We were looking at a live shot a second ago from Corpus Christi. It is getting inundated. That
4 and 8.
That crazy rain is going to hit here. What, 1 o'clock?
Yeah,
Noon?
It looks like about 11, depending on what part of town you're in, and then it's just going to get increasingly more after that. 1 o'clock, it's going to be 100% chance of rain.
Pags just arrived. I'll deal with that in the next break.
So we got 4, 8, and 48. So 2 in the first. That's a good thing. It's a Wembanyama Wednesday, everybody.
There you go, Sam Tobias. All praise Gregory Charles Popovich and the San Antonio Spurs.
Which, by the way, I saw that video of him playing pickup yesterday. He's pretty good.
My
He still
God,
got it.
Yes.
He still
I saw
got
that
it.
too.
You showed it to me. So, yeah, he still got it.
yeah.
He still got it. But I hear if you want to control him, you just force him to his left. He doesn't go to his left that good.
Wow.
He's really good going to his
I
right.
thought he's very left. He's very left-leaning, Greg Popovich.
Yes, but that's the problem. He telegraphs it by
Yes.
leaning left. You know which
But he
way
goes
he's
to the
going.
right.
Yes. They're cheap fakes. See, anything that goes wrong, here we go.
Here we go. Welcome into this beautiful, soon-to-be wet day, Juneteenth, Wednesday, June 19th, 2024. 7 days until the NBA draft, 8 days until the first presidential debate on CNN, 26 days until the Republican National Convention, 39 days until the Victor Wembanyama Olympics in Paris, 80 days until NFL opening night, Baltimore versus Taylor Swift's boyfriend's team, and 139 days until the 2024 election, where America comes together as one.
Kumbaya.
Kumbaya, everybody. And she is back after an extended birthday weekend. Charity McCurdy, good morning.
Good morning. I feel older. I don't know why, but yeah.
But you don't look older.
Well, thanks. But it was so much fun. Sleep is the best gift. That's what I decided.
What's
So.
that like?
Sleep is a beautiful thing.
I've heard of it.
If you can get it.
Yeah, I've
And I
heard of
miss
it.
Barry Manilow. What the heck?
Yeah, we tried to wait, but he
Oh.
said, look, I would love to wait for Charity, but the show must go on.
Yeah, I understand.
Yes.
He's in demand.
But you can see him on August 15th coming to San Antonio. Barry Manilow, beautiful man.
Yes.
We got a lot to talk about all morning long, and weather is a big, big story. We'll be all over it with expert meteorologists coming up. In fact, right now, let's get you caught up on traffic and weather together.
Some showers this morning will evolve into a more steady rain this afternoon, highs in the low 80s. Tomorrow, showers early and then steady rain later in the day, highs in the upper 80s. Friday, cloudy with occasional showers, highs right around 90 degrees. 75 in Alamo Heights, 75 in Alamo Ranch, and 73 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 5:13.
San Antonio's first news, Charity McCurdy back. She extended the weekend into a 4-day weekend for her birthday. So, Charity, any special birthday venues? Did you go anywhere? Dinner at the Gray Moss Inn? Anything going on?
It's all about the kids, keeping them entertained. We did go to Yanaguana Gardens at Hemis Fair, and it's so much fun. And I was able to check out the new Bombay Bicycle Club there.
Which is cool, isn't it?
It is so awesome. I like the original, but I don't know. This may be my new favorite. They have like stained glass walls. It's gorgeous the way they decorated it, and the food is great, and so are the drinks.
Yes.
See, I didn't even know there's a new Bombay Bicycle Club.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very cool. So it's at Hemisphere?
Yeah, it's in the Hemisphere area. That whole area. Close to Doe, right?
Yes, exactly. And they have a Kunstler there, but it's like a tap house. You don't have the full food menu there, just the beer.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
all I
the
need.
important part.
That's our food menu.
Something else to check out. Yeah.
Very, very nice. So is the original Bombay Bicycle Club? No. So did they just
No,
do away
I
with
think
that
it's
No, in
Still
fact,
there,
they
yeah.
improved it.
Yeah,
They have like a really nice outdoor area at the original one by the
Cool.
San Antonio Zoo. So yeah, you can't go wrong with either location.
And there was another one that I don't know if it's still there or not on Wurzbach.
My goodness.
On Fredericksburg Road, just past Wurzbach. Wurzbach.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's my old hood.
Yeah.
That's where I ran around in high school.
Yeah, I went there one night with Morgan Montalvo. You remember Morgan?
Oh, yeah.
Our old news guy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't
yeah.
heard that name in a while.
Yeah, I went and hung out with them there. That's how the reason I know it's there or
Okay.
was there. I'm not sure it's still there.
Very, very
We'll
cool.
have to look into that.
Well, we are 1 week away from the NBA draft, and we're going to take your pulse on a team known as the San Antonio Spurs. How do you feel about them right now? What do you think they should do next? What do you want them to do? That and a whole lot more. And we are all over the weather all morning long. San Antonio's first news, WOAI News Time 5:15.
Okay.
Good morning, people. That's right. I'm wearing my Houston Astros. Hate us. Hate us. Even though they kind of suck this year.
Yeah, because we thought
Mr. T with a cool T-shirt
we
as
thought
well.
it was a wacky Wednesday,
I
but
know.
apparently Charity still feels like a Monday to her.
Yes. It's a wacky Wednesday for us.
It's or as we just call it, Wednesday.
Yes.
Come on. All right, Bombay.
Good morning, Tim from the Philippines. Welcome in. Let's see. Let me sign in so I can send you the Joe Pags morning update. Mueller. Mueller. There's Joe Pags. Let's see what Joe Pags has to say this morning.
Morning, Chris. Yeah, a lot of people still reacting to London Roberts, the baby mama, lack of a better term, of Hunter Biden's child. Maybe. So you can go check that out on the podcast for sure. Today, big program coming your way. We'll go to Israel. Dr. Ruby Bloom. Morning, Chris. Yeah, a lot of people still reacting to London Roberts, the baby mama, for lack of a better term.
Charlie would like to do away with baby mama, by the way.
Which means we should do it more.
London Roberts.
Okay, that's just driving me nuts. Okay, according to the interweb, they only have St. Mary's listed. Huh. That's interesting. Okay.
All right. I will forward you this. Forward.
Okay, they don't even have the other one listed.
What are you looking for?
Bombay Bicycle Club. The only one they have listed is on St. Mary's.
Wow,
They don't have the one
Wow,
downtown.
I don't have the new one.
No.
Huh.
And I don't know if the one on Fredericksburg Road just past Wurzbach is still there. Like I said, I only went one time with Morgan Montalvo years and years and years ago. Oh. Wait, Chris sent me something. Hang on.
Yeah, Tracy, I'm holding out hope that the Astros will get it together, but now Justin Verlander on the IR. It ain't looking good.
It is not looking good. Stand by.
Just ahead of headlines, traffic, and weather together. And it is a Wembenyama Wednesday, 1 week out from the NBA draft. We'll talk a little Spurs and Wemby with you coming up. But first, she's back. Charity McCurdy, what stories are you following?
A tropical storm watch has been extended along the Texas Gulf Coast due to a tropical disturbance that's expected to bring heavy rainfall. President Biden announces a new immigration policy, and the Bexar County Sheriff's Office is taking action to prevent jail overcrowding. We'll have details coming up. Right now, traffic and weather together.
Lots of rain in the forecast. How much and when? We welcome in News 4 San Antonio meteorologist Jeanette Kaye. Good morning, Jeanette. Thanks, Jeanette. It is 73 degrees here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time 521.
San Antonio's first news, Charity McCurdy, Mr. T, Tim Merriman, I'm Chris Duell, Andrew Zimmel flying the Millennium Falcon solo, also directing our live video on YouTube. And with Charity McCurdy back, it's not just chopped liver on the screen, it's eye candy, baby. Go to YouTube and look for 1200 WOAI. We've also got a lot of people in there right now. Very cool. Oh, this just in, Charity. Nick Nolte is still the mugshot champion. Justin Timberlake's mugshot, not nearly as
He still
entertaining
looks good in his mugshot.
as Nick Nolte's mugshot.
Yeah, minus the red eyes, but yeah, he could tell that he's done this before as far as posing in front of a camera. So.
Yes. He should have danced.
All that money, and you couldn't call an Uber, you couldn't
Or
get
hire
your
a
private driver.
Yeah, exactly. Buy a fleet of limousines. You've got enough money.
My goodness. All right. It is a Wembanyama Wednesday, and this is kind of cool. We have a giveaway. We're going to ask Spurs fans 1 week out from the NBA draft, just taking your pulse. How do you feel about the Spurs? How do you feel about Wemby? What would you like him to do in the NBA draft? Do you want him to stay the course and continue to rebuild because they got a lot of draft picks coming?
Yes, they do.
Or is it time to trade some of those draft picks, get us a veteran, and let's chart a path to the playoffs? What would you like?
That's a great question.
Yeah, that's way above my pay grade, but they definitely need guards and shooters. I know that much.
Yeah, definitely somebody to get the ball to Wemby. A point guard would be nice.
Now, Mr. T, we're not just asking this question. In a moment, Charity will tell us how you can get on the free iHeartRadio app and give us your thoughts on the Spurs and Wemby. But we got a prize to give away this morning.
Yes, we do. We've got tickets to the music of Led Zeppelin with the San Antonio Philharmonic Orchestra this Saturday at the Majestic Theater. Plus, Chris, plus one lucky winner will win a Michael Kelly guitar.
Nice.
And Michael Kelly is considered the professor of rock and roll.
Get your own guitar. Go see.
Yeah.
Listen to the music of Led Zeppelin at the Majestic. That's a beautiful thing.
It is.
Very, very cool. What I worry about, Charity, is I want Victor Wembanyama to be happy. And I know he so far is a good soldier and he's happy to kind of stay the course with the Spurs, but I don't know how patient he can continue to be if they don't start winning and going to the playoffs soon.
Yeah, I think he is definitely eager to get a ring and to see all of his hard work be paid off. And that's what it comes down to, is what moves will the Spurs make that will allow that to happen. I mean, could we go big, bring in a veteran free agent like a Chris Paul to help bridge the gap? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a thought, but Chris Paul doesn't make it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right. So, Charity, how would people give us their Wemby thoughts and get in the running for this Led Zeppelin music prize package.
The free iHeartRadio app, just search 1200 WOAI, hit the red talkback button, 30 seconds. Let us know your Spurs thoughts, all things Spurs. How will they do in the draft and next season? What does Wemby need?
And that draft 1 week from today, coming up at 5:40, we'll give you the absolute latest on the weather. Weather Channel meteorologist Ray Stajic on the tropical storm that is forming and will impact South Texas in a big way. Charity McCurdy has everything you need to know at the bottom of the hour. WOAI News Time, 5:25. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Well, in a perfect world, I
know.
could text about the heavy clock.
Yeah. Wish they would let us know these things. Oh, Cowboys signed 2 UFL players.
Interesting.
Oh, thank you, Brian.
Brian Gann emailing us.
What do we see?
What's he got?
Okay, San Antonio's in the... the flash flood watch is gone. The flood watch is gone.
It's good news.
Yeah. All right.
Although in that second graphic, they're in the swath with the marginal.
Yeah.
Marginal flash flood risk over the next 3 days.
Yeah, but the watch that they had up yesterday that was supposed to start at 7 o'clock this morning is gone.
Okay.
We'll have to ask Ray about that one. Yeah, it looks like it'll be a rainy night too, man.
Rooster is headed to Austin. Rooster,
man.
enjoy Austin. Can
you really enjoy Austin? I mean, really?
It's getting tougher and tougher, man.
It really is.
Traffic is awful.
And get your talkbacks in, guys, because we're going to actually give away 2 pair of tickets today, 2 pair tomorrow, and another one on Friday.
I didn't realize it was 2.
And then, because we're... So
our crack promotions team on crack.
Yeah, so we got 2 pair today, 2 pair tomorrow, 1 pair on Friday, and you have a 1 in 5 chance of winning a guitar.
Woo! One of those 5. You need to say that. One of those 5 winners gets the guitar.
One lucky winner will win a Michael Kelly guitar.
Michael Kelly, everybody.
The professor of rock and roll.
Wow. I thought Charlie Parker was the professor of rock and roll.
I believe that this is his assistant professor.
Assistant professor. Michael White?
Michael Kelly.
Michael Kelly. David E. Kelly.
David E. Kelly. Yeah. I think that's his brother, Mike.
Yep.
Okay.
Charity McCurdy coming up at the bottom of the hour. You've been waiting for days for your Charity McCurdy eye candy.
It has been days.
And it's coming.
It's up to you. Do they need one?
I would say when in doubt, if it's easy for you, send it.
Yeah. Send them a few.
Yeah.
Inundate them. Just live their mailbox up with them.
Frankie is back. Good morning, Frankie.
Frankie says relax.
That's very nice. Frankie wishes that Charity had a super fabulous birthday. I hope that Charity sees that. I'm sure she will. Charity was already in here, Frankie, chatting, so she knows, she checks this out. Yes, Sam Tobias, we did have a crack engineering team on crack at Ticket 760.
It went off again?
No, he's mentioned, he's calling back. Sam used to watch my videos over on Ticket 760 where I had used crack engineering team on crack. Whatever happened to Hutch? Is he still at that?
That's a good question. I don't know if he's still at that brewery because remember, right after he left here and went to that brewery, the pandemic hit.
That's right.
And I don't know if he stayed working there or not.
Hutch was a different breed of cat.
It's a good way to put it, Chris.
Meow.
That's a good way to put it.
Thank you.
It's a damn good way to put it.
Enjoy your eye candy and your news together. Traffic and weather together. news and eye candy together
Together.
on WOAI's YouTube stream.
Yes.
Yes.
We still got 2 minutes before we even get to her.
My goodness.
That's what I mean, yeah.
All right. Leggings, everybody.
Yes, it's summertime. Well, they're still talking about the migrants. There we go.
Oh, they love it.
Mm-hmm.
They love it. And now they've got this.
Oh, yeah. Then the neighbors took the guy down. Held him for the popo.
Good. And he's got the tropical storm warning. Brad Souder.
Yeah, we do have a tropical storm warning.
Fox SS.
Yes, but that's for the coast, and look how far it's going to be inland. Doo-doo.
Little radar
Look
for
at
you.
that, man. Look at that. Wow. And it's not Alberto yet.
No, still growing.
Man.
A little San Antonio future radar.
Okay.
Or not. All right, 90% at 1 p.m.
80 at 3, 90 again at 5, 90 at 7. It looks like, according to the Weather Channel, it's going to stay 80% all night long.
Okay.
We'll find out from meteorologist Ray Stajic when he joins us, coming right up.
He will join us at 5:40. Well, I'm going to stretch.
.532 is our time. San Antonio's first news. Good Wednesday morning. I'm Charity McCurdy. Among our top stories, potential tropical storm Alberto is expected to soak South Texas, and President Biden announces a new immigration policy. Details ahead. First, traffic and weather together every 10 minutes in mornings. Your Weather Channel forecast for this Wednesday. Showers later this morning, becoming steady throughout the day with at least an inch of rain forecasted, a high of only 82. Another half-inch rain tonight, a low of 75. Right now, 76 degrees. Forecasters are keeping an eye on potential tropical cyclone 1 in the Bay of Campeche. The National Hurricane Center is extending a tropical storm watch along the Texas Gulf Coast from the mouth of the Rio Grande to San Luis Pass at the west end of Galveston Island. The widespread tropical circulation is expected to bring heavy downpours to southeast Texas, with some areas around Corpus Christi and Rockport potentially receiving up to 10 to 15 inches of rain. Here's Corey Motis with the National Weather Service.
We have flash flooding threat, river flooding, coastal flooding, high rip currents. We also have a chance for a few isolated tornadoes potentially.
But these coastal Bend residents tell Chris TV they're ready.
I'm crazy enough to come out here while it's storming. I don't care.
Some people went out fishing. A lot of the guides canceled their trips and stuff. You know, people just getting their boats out of the water and stuff so they don't float away and stuff.
Locally, we could see at least 2 inches of rainfall, with heavy rainfall expected to pick up this afternoon and continue tomorrow. Well, President Biden has announced new policies to protect migrant spouses of U.S. citizens from deportation. Here's Fox's Jeff Paul.
The new immigration policy will impact roughly 500,000 married couples. It creates a legal pathway for not only the person who lacks citizenship, but for their kids as well. Now, under Biden's new plan, spouses without legal status in the U.S. can apply to become permanent residents without having to leave the U.S. to apply in their home country. The White House is framing this as, quote, new action to keep families together. The policy would impact non-citizens who've been in the country for at least 10 years.
Meantime, Governor Abbott told Fox's Hannity Texas will plan to secure the southern border and says the state will not be following the president's measure.
What Biden did today is illegal, unconstitutional. Texas is going to take legal action and put a stop to it.
Senior administration officials say it could affect upwards of 500,000 migrants. Boeing CEO David Calhoun testified on Capitol Hill yesterday before the Senate Subcommittee on Investigations, his first appearance since a panel blew out of a 737 MAX plane during an Alaska Airlines flight back in January. In his opening remarks, Calhoun addressed the incident.
We deeply regret the impact that the Alaska Airlines Flight 1282 accident had on Alaska Airlines team and its passengers. And we are grateful to the pilots and crew for safely landing the plane. We are thankful that there were no fatalities.
Calhoun also says Boeing is cooperating with the NTSB and the FAA in their investigations. Calhoun announced in March that he would retire at the end of the year. Well, the pastor of a Texas megachurch has resigned after admitting he sexually abused a young girl decades ago.
Robert Morris, founder of Gateway Church near Dallas, submitted his resignation to the church's board of elders. Last week, a religion blog reported a woman's allegation that Morris abused her when she was 12. Morris, in a statement, admitted to inappropriate sexual behavior when he was in his 20s. He said the contact was not intercourse, but in his words, it was wrong. The board of elders said Morris has discussed having an extramarital relationship, but never said it was abuse of a 12-year-old child. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Well, the Bexar County Sheriff's Office is taking action to prevent jail overcrowding by sending inmates to other counties. Deputy chiefs explained to Commissioner's Court yesterday that 150 inmates were transferred last week and another 148 are standing by. The Sheriff's Office made the move to keep the jail from exceeding capacity, which would violate state compliance. It is 5:37 now with breaking crime news from around the country. Here's Nancy Grace. Traffic and weather together in a minute. But first, a check of your money and the world of business with the Bloomberg News Desk. All right, now let's get a check of traffic and weather together.
San Antonio's first news. She's Charity McCurdy. That's Mr. T, Tim Merriman. I'm Chris Duell. Well, weather is the big story with that disturbance in the southwest Gulf that is expected to become Tropical Storm Alberto. Let's get the absolute latest from Weather Channel meteorologist Ray Stajic. Ray, where are we now and what can we expect throughout the day?
Well, first thing, let's go disturbances now, because believe it or not, the Hurricane Center has practically one laid right on top of the other. You got potential tropical cyclone 1. That's the one that does have a chance here becoming a tropical storm. That's one we had talked about yesterday. And there's actually now disturbance 2 that's practically sitting right over the top of it, or pretty close to it, in the Western Gulf, that over the weekend could make a move and increase rain chances in South Texas. So we'll deal with one at a time. What we've done first with potential tropical cyclone from where we were yesterday is Bexar County now not in the flood watch. But if you go south, and just south are adjacent counties, they are. So Wilson, Atascosa, Gonzales off to our east, and then east of that, we're already starting to see the rain come in into areas just east of a line from about Gonzales down through Yorktown as you get into DeWitt counties, and down further south of that east, where we're starting to see some of that rain come in. Now, what I do want to emphasize with that, do not think that just because Bexar County, Guadalupe County, and areas west and north of that into the hill country, just because you're not in the flood watch does not mean we may not get flooding. Remember how the watch is defined in and around the watch area. And I do think we'll still get anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of rain, a little bit more to the southern parts of town, and off to the west and north, less rainfall where they actually needed more. There's higher drought conditions in the hill country and the Edwards Plateau. But I still think we have some problems later this morning, in through later today and tonight, especially when some of the heaviest rain comes in.
And Ray, specifically regarding the timing, it seems like the rain chances really pick up around 11 o'clock or maybe around noon, and then it'll stick around potentially through Friday?
It's probably going to stick around through tonight, on and off, and then become more widely scattered for Thursday and Friday. So, yes, we'll stay with rain chances, but I really think the heaviest of the rain is going to be this afternoon into tonight. Most of our rain will probably fall over the next, let me say conservatively, the next 24 hours. And then beyond that, more widely scattered rainfall. So you're driving this morning, you're kind of like, well, where is it? And you're saying, well, this isn't bad. So this afternoon's commute could be a whole different ball of wax, especially if you're going south or east, where as you get closer to the coast, that's where you run into the tropical storm advisories. I believe they even put up some warnings now, too, for parts of coastal Texas. Yeah, they're tropical storm warnings. They'll kick in for tropical storm conditions from potential tropical cyclone 1. So we'll see. The winds are still at 40. So they say, well, that's a tropical storm, isn't it? Well, it's not, because it's not just the winds, which they've estimated to be at 40 miles per hour. We need to have a closed circulation, meaning that center of low pressure has got to have that wind, and you've got to have a closed low is what we define in the business. That may happen. It may not. It doesn't matter. If it becomes a named storm or not, the impacts are still what I just mentioned. At times, some heavy rainfall, the potential for some flooding. Best chance will be south and east.
And you mentioned the wind. Are we going to see a lot of wind here in our area?
Probably not. We could gust 25, 30 miles per hour. Yeah, and it's tough to say, well, whether is that going to mean there's going to be problems? You never know. Just because you don't get severe winds doesn't mean you get a gust over 30 that could just, by chance, just hit the wrong place at the wrong time, break a branch or something like that. But, that's really trying to get into the extreme. I don't think extreme wind, even the winds along the coast, will be at 40, maybe gust to 50 miles per hour. Some of the squalls, though, coming in along the coast may have some stronger winds. But I really think strongest winds to tropical storm force plus, which is 39 miles per hour, well east and south of us.
Our thanks to Weather Channel meteorologist Ray Stajic. We will continue to track this weather throughout the morning. A little bit later this morning, News 4 San Antonio meteorologist Chris Suchan will join us with the latest as well. We'll be all over the weather throughout the morning, throughout the day here, and into the night here on 1200 WOAI. As we roll forward, flashback. We'll go back in time, try to figure out what year we land in. WOAI News Time, 5:45.
Okay.
Do you want to consider?
I can play that one and see what happens.
Okay.
We'll see what happens with that.
All right.
But I'm afraid that's what's going to happen is people are just right now not into San Antonio Spurs basketball.
Yeah. When you told me that last week.
I know.
I mean, day of the draft, maybe. Morning
Even
after,
then,
maybe.
Even then,
Yeah.
you know, you're asking.
Again, I can't
I
name
know,
one.
I know, Chris. I'm with you, brother. Oh, God. La la la.
So you're only going to play the one talk back, or
Yeah.
are you going to play?
Yeah, no, that's the only one.
The teacher.
Yes.
Okay.
Our favorite teacher.
Tracy, who is Robert Morris? George the Duck killing unsolved.
Yeah, down the Riverwalk.
Yeah.
Somebody killed it. They, from what I read, though, I thought they had arrested
I heard
somebody.
that they saw somebody actually
yeah.
killing him, like
Yeah,
holding
so
his
how
neck.
is it unsolved?
Interesting.
You can get it on the body cam?
Yeah, that could be a previous. I think George the Duck was a previous, like years ago, duck killing.
Yeah, because the one that just happened, they caught the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody step on a duck.
Very nice. Caddyshack.
Of course. My eyes. Nothing in everything.
Oh, the pastor, Robert Morris. Okay, I got you.
Okay.
The pastor who got in trouble.
Yeah. And we know for a fact he was a friend of Trump. Doesn't everybody
Oh, well,
know?
that's what
I know.
Tracy Bogart says. Tracy would know.
Yes, he would. I was
Because
just
he is
gonna
the
say.
chairman of the Bear County MAGA
I
Republican,
was just going to say that.
a Dallas area mega church. How often does that freaking happen?
Oh, I bet it happens a lot more than we hear
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, these are the guys who get caught and then
Yeah, these are
resign.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because you're talking, especially mega churches, you're talking
Yeah.
like a lot of cash.
Yes,
I don't know if you ever saw the movie or the show that was on TNT called Wild Kingdom.
I did not.
Animal Kingdom. I'm sorry, Animal Kingdom. It was about this. It's a story out of Australia, is where it originated. This mother who has these kids and they end up being thieves and they're really good at it.
Yeah.
And one of the things they hit was a mega church.
Okay.
And they got lots of cash out of this mega church.
Wow.
So yeah, if there's that much cash around, people tend to steal.
Mm-hmm.
Willie Mays, man. God, they're still extending their stay on the International Space Station because they have issues with these Starliner spacecraft. Wow.
Well, they've got a lot of consumables with all the extra people on board. Greg from Divine, welcome in.
Hey, what's up, Greg?
I'm headed to breakfast at the Corner Bakery at the Quarry. Sounds good.
Oh, wow, nice. At the Quarry.
Stand by. Okay. Flashback. It is time to go back in time, but what year will we land in? See if you can figure it out. We'll try to figure it out. Let's play Flashback.
Ooh. Oh.
Classic. Sam Kinison, a great role in Back to School.
The Triple Lindy.
Love me some Sam Kinison. Charity McCurdy, 84, 85, or 86?
86.
I agree.
Charity is our movie expert.
Yes.
I'll go with Charity, 1986.
Yes.
Bingo, bango, bongo.
Yes.
She's back.
When Madonna and Sean Penn were together.
See, I was going off of Back to School.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
So do I. Charity McCurdy, what are you working on?
South Texas is bracing for possible flooding as a potential tropical storm brews in the Gulf of Mexico. A teen is under arrest for killing his mother with a shotgun in their West Side home. And baseball is mourning the loss of legend Willie Mays. We'll have details coming up. Right now, traffic and weather together.
Showers this morning will involve some more steady rain this afternoon, highs in the low 80s. Tomorrow, showers early becoming steady rain later in the day, highs in the upper 80s. Friday, cloudy with occasional showers, highs right around 90 degrees. It is 75 degrees in New Braunfels, 75 in Kirby, and 73 here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 5:54.
San Antonio's first news, that is Mr. T. Tim Merriman, she's Charity McCurdy, back from vacation. Charlie Parker with Those Were the Days coming up in the next hour. I'm Chris Duell. Andrew Zimmel running the YouTube feed and flying the Millennium Falcon. Check us out on YouTube. Go to 1200 WOAI. There is a live chat there. We are 1 week out from the NBA draft, so we're asking you about the Spurs, Victor Wembanyama. What would you like to see the Spurs do with the draft and with the offseason? And Mr. T, we got a pretty good prize package available, giving away 2 prizes today.
Yeah, 2 pairs of tickets today to see Led Zeppelin with the music of Led Zeppelin with the San Antonio Philharmonic Orchestra this Saturday at the Majestic Theater. And one of the lucky winners this week, today through Friday, so 5 winners, got a 1 in 5 chance of winning a Michael Kelly guitar.
That's a serious guitar. That's
It's
an
a very
outstanding
serious guitar, yes.
Very cool. Charity McCurdy, how do people let us know how they're feeling about the Spurs and therefore qualify for the prize package?
The free iHeartRadio app, just search the radio station 1200 WOAI, hit that red talkback button. It's a circle. You got 30 seconds and let us know your thoughts on the Spurs, how they'll do in the draft.
Now, you're not limited to our question on the talkback feature. You can take it anywhere you want. And Mr. T, apparently that has happened.
Yes, it has. Our favorite school teacher, Stephen.
Hey, Mr. T, Chris, and Charity, welcome back. Stephen from Lytle. I don't follow the Spurs much anymore. I don't have any opinion on them, so it's my opportunity to be funny instead. So two cemetery workers are standing around talking, and one says, it is so hard to get people into our business anymore. And the other one says, well, you know, we are a dying industry. Y'all have a great Winbanyama Wednesday. So long.
See, beautiful. You can just take it wherever you want. You can leave us a joke, and that was very, very good.
It's just entertain us, and you might win some tickets.
Yeah,
that's
sure.
really what it comes down
He
to.
may be going to see the music of Led Zeppelin at the Majestic and winning a guitar with
And-
that one joke.
Yeah, and just going to the Majestic Theater is worth it.
I love the Majestic.
So do I.
One of my favorite venues anywhere. All right. Charity McCurdy has all the stories that you need to know about right here at the top of the hour, and we are all over the weather coverage. Going to get very, very volatile by about noon today in the San Antonio area. We'll bring you the latest coming right up. WOAI News Time 5:56.
Okay, we're back.
Netflix story.
Yeah. Wonder what's going on. Oh, immersive venues. Okay. So theaters. Is that what you're saying? Theaters.
Yeah.
We have those already, don't we?
Yeah.
Okay, just check.
Netflix immersive venues.
Talk weather at 6:10?
Sure.
We can talk weather the whole hour if you want.
It is the big story.
Professional. No, thank you.
17 of you at the moment on the live video feed. Thanks for hanging out with us. Charity McCurdy will be on screen at the top of the hour with the news. Big story is the weather. Looks like the heavy rain will hit by about 11 o'clock, noon-ish today in the San Antonio area, and then probably stick around all day into and through the night.
So, Chris, do you own rain gear?
I think there's a raincoat in my closet. I did bring, look at this though, I've got a visual. I threw this in my bag last night.
Is it an umbrella?
I brought an umbrella.
Wow.
Woo!
And I don't even own an
HEB umbrella, baby.
Actually, I own an umbrella, but it's on a golf bag.
Yeah.
So I never pull it off the golf bag.
You never know. You never know if you're going to, I should always just keep it in my car.
Yeah.
Would be smarter.
Well, Chris, come on. Smart. Nah.
Yeah. That's,
It's like winter. I don't have a lot of winter clothes because we really don't have a lot of winter. So I don't have a lot of rain gear because we really don't have a lot of rain. So
True.
Yeah.
True.
I do have a really nice KJ97 raincoat that Clayton Allen gave me when they were switching up logos. Hey, you want a raincoat? I said, oh yeah, I want a raincoat. It's a nice one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Tracy Bogert says, I know some of you people are impatient, but next year's draft is supposedly much better. It might affect the way this draft is approached. Man, are we going to have to go through another lottery season for the Spurs, Tracy?
No.
Come on, man.
No, they've got enough draft capital and capital to where they can do pretty much anything they want to do.
Do both.
Yes, they can. They've got I'm
some
sure,
veterans. Yeah.
Pick up that guy from France that everybody's talking about. Yeah. Come on, we've done really good with French players.
Correct.
Tony, Boris, Wemby. Come on. All right, 45 seconds till charity. So everybody enjoy charity.
Yes.
The eye candy is here.
Yes.
6 o'clock is our time. San Antonio's first news. Good Wednesday morning. I'm Charity McCurdy. Among our top stories, heavy rainfall is expected as a result of a potential tropical storm. President Biden unveils a new immigration policy, and Baseball Hall of Famer Willie Mays has died. Details ahead. First, traffic and weather together every 10 minutes in mornings. Your Weather Channel forecast for this Wednesday: showers this morning, becoming steady throughout the day. A high of only 82. Another half inch of rainfall tonight. A low of 75. Right now, we're at 76 degrees. Well, the potential tropical cyclone Juan that will become Alberto is skirting the shore and creating a lot of unstable weather for much of South Texas.
It is very large in size, and so we're going to be seeing those impacts along much of the Texas coast here over the next couple of days.
The National Weather Service's Corey Modis says, along with flash flood and storm surge warnings already posted, there's concerns about severe weather from this event today and tomorrow.
We have flash flooding threat, river flooding, coastal flooding, high rip currents. We also have a chance for a few isolated tornadoes potentially.
Several inches of rain is expected for the southern third of Texas as tropical storm warnings are up from Galveston to the Rio Grande. Eric Lycum, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
And the highest rainfall potential is south of us, but 2 to 4 inches of rain is possible around San Antonio. Well, President Biden is clearing the way for tens of thousands of undocumented immigrants married to U.S. citizens to stay in the country. Here's Fox's Jared Halpern with more on Decision 2024.
The president says it is a false choice to either have a secure border or pathways to citizenship for undocumented immigrants.
Folks, I'm not interested in playing politics with border or immigration. I'm interested in fixing it.
A new executive order will shield undocumented immigrants who have lived in the U.S. for at least 10 years and are married to a U.S. citizen protection from deportation while applying for legal status. It comes 2 weeks after President Biden signed an order restricting asylum claims when border crossings hit certain thresholds. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Speaking to Fox's Hannity, Governor Abbott believes this would not solve the issue and will only make things worse.
What that shows to the entire world is come to the border as quickly as you can, because it's possible that you too may be able to get amnesty. So this is nothing more than a magnet that will actually increase illegal immigration.
Meantime, former President Trump touched on the issue while campaigning in Wisconsin yesterday.
Joe Biden wants to be the president for illegal aliens, but I will be the president for law-abiding Americans, every background, every walk of life, every race, religion, color, and creed. I'll be the president.
Immigration remains one of the top voter issues ahead of the November election. Well, Russian President Vladimir Putin is in North Korea for a rare 2-day visit.
Before an audience of thousands, Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un strode down Pyongyang's main square. Ranks of pristine military personnel on one side of the red carpet, an equally regimented group of children cheering on the other. A welcome ceremony to show Russia and North Korea are closer than ever. At talks, Chairman Kim promised full support for Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the leader signing a document to formalize their alliance. Those illicit arms deals the West accuses them of will not be celebrated so publicly. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
18 is in custody, accused of killing his mother with a shotgun on the west side. SAPD responded around 2 p.m. yesterday to a home on Delgado Street where officers found the woman dead in the front yard. The woman's 15-year-old son had reportedly shot her in the back of the head with a shotgun. The teen suspect tried to run to another house, but officers arrested him and recovered the weapon. Legendary baseball player and Hall of Famer Willie Mays has died. The San Francisco Giants revealed he died peacefully yesterday afternoon at 93. The Say-Hey Kid was known for his multi-decade career in Major League Baseball, where he won a World Series title with the Giants in 1954, making the famous over-the-shoulder catch in Game 1, famously referred to as the catch.
There's a long drive, way
Mays finished his career as a two-time National League MVP, a 24-time All-Star, and was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1979. It is 6:06, news at the top and bottom of every hour, along with breaking news as it happens. I'm Charity McCurdy. Traffic and weather coming up.
Yes.
Hey,
Good
Jonathan.
morning, Jonathan Sanchez.
Okay. We can do the Broadway thing before headlines if you want.
Okay.
Real quick.
Sure.
You want me to tell him so he can record it
Yes.
in case he needs one? Hey, we're going to talk.
Tommy Miller, good morning. Tommy, Tim, Jonathan, Tracy Bogert, the chairman of the Bear County MAGA Republicans. And of course, our TV monitors have
Of course.
gone out. That's what they do.
By the way, it's nice outside.
Really?
Oh, cool, nice breeze.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. I'm standing out there going, we should just move out here and do the show.
That would be nice.
Very unusual for June in South Texas.
Yeah.
There she is again.
She is very excited.
Amanda Henderson, everybody. Looks like the rain slowed down a little bit.
Yeah.
But look at those waves coming in, man. She's standing right on the seawall. Look at that.
Yeah.
This is just now every time you hit that one, this one goes off.
It goes off.
Studios of the future, Chris.
So good.
Hey. Looky there, looky there. Oh, Jesus. Stand by. Hey.
San Antonio's first news, Charity McCurdy is back. He's Mr. T. Tim Merriman. Charlie Parker will be along with Those Were the Days coming up at 6:48. I'm Chris Duell. Andrew Zimmel flying the Millennium Falcon and directing our live video stream on YouTube. Go to YouTube. You can see us live at 1200 WOAI. There is a live chat. You can chat with us and other viewers in real time. As we roll forward, we'll continue to keep an eye on the weather, how it will impact us. It is certainly already impacting the Texas Gulf Coast. We'll get into all that coming right up. But first, let's get you caught up on traffic and weather together.
Showers this morning, then steady rain this afternoon, highs in the low 80s. Tomorrow, same thing, but highs in the upper 80s. Friday, cloudy with occasional showers, highs right around 90 degrees. 75 at Woodlawn Lake, 75 in Monte Vista, and 74 here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 6:11.
San Antonio's first news. We spoke with Weather Channel meteorologist Ray Stajic in the last half hour. We'll talk with him again coming up at 6:50. And some of the developments we're looking at right now, Charity, there was a flood watch for Bexar County that is no longer in effect for Bexar County, but counties south of us like Wilson, Atascosa, Gonzales, still under that flood watch. And what Ray Stajic from the Weather Channel pointed out to us, even though that flood watch might not be in effect, Bexar County still has to pay attention to a chance of flash flooding, because what they say is in and around the watch area, you can have that flooding.
Yeah, right now, San Antonio is at marginal risk of flooding. We're expecting the rainfall to really pick up around noon today. It jumps to a 60% chance and then increases from there. But you kind of don't know what to expect. I mean, they're saying occasional showers and then it'll become heavy rainfall. At least an inch of rainfall is expected today. Another half an inch expected tonight. So you really need to be prepared for anything.
Yeah, and look, we need the rain. There's no question about it. We need the rain. But I live in Wilson County where that flood watch is still in effect.
Yes.
But I've said this all the time. There is no standing water where I live. Once it rains, there'll be a puddle. That puddle gets sucked down into that sand and clay, so it just disappears. If it starts flooding in Floresville, you guys are all in trouble.
My goodness.
I'm telling you.
Well, and you've got this, it's being currently called Potential Tropical Cyclone 1, which may or may not turn into Tropical Storm Alberto. And then you've got something called Disturbance 2, which is almost right on top of it in the Western Gulf. And so, Charity, this could be an event for not only today and tomorrow, but with this second disturbance, as it could grow in the warm Gulf waters, this could affect us throughout the weekend.
Absolutely. I mean, there's showers in the forecast through Friday. There's a smaller chance on Saturday, but this water is not going to have anywhere to go. And the ground is going to become so saturated that flooding is going to be a big concern. Obviously, for the morning commute, we're okay. But depending on the timing, especially for the afternoon commute, I mean, we're looking at very dangerous driving conditions, something to keep in mind.
Yeah, keep that in mind. Plus, with all the construction going on in San Antonio, the construction zones have what I call those walls.
Yeah.
And those things tend to pull water very heavily when it rains. And I don't know about you guys, but a rainy day like this would be a great day to sit back and watch some shows maybe.
Yes.
There is a documentary that I learned about this morning called Say Hey Willie Mays on HBO Max. It came out in 2022 and it's running right now. So I think I'm going to go home and watch that.
Yeah, with the passing of Willie Mays that we learned about overnight at the age of 93, this would be a good day to remember the Say Hey kid, Willie Mays. Coming up, lots more. In fact, we'll play your talkbacks coming up on the free iHeartRadio app. We're asking about the Spurs. We'll pose other questions probably throughout the morning as well. And we're giving away tickets to hear the music of Led Zeppelin with the San Antonio Philharmonic at the Majestic Theater. And you got a 1 in 5 shot if you win of getting a guitar, which is very, very cool. We'll tell you more about that coming up. WOAI News Time, 6:15. Yeah, I don't know who. Maybe I yawned. Frankie said one of us was yawning, and it's contagious. It set her off. Sorry about that.
It was probably me. I yawned.
Yeah, who knows?
I'm a yawner.
Let's see. So we're going to do this thing here?
Yes. Boom, boom. Kemper's got a good take on the Spurs.
Beautiful.
And she's got a comment on the JT mugshot.
Perfect.
And she's giving a public service announcement. Right now, she's hands down the winner because not only is she doing Spurs, she's talking JT, and she's doing a little public service announcement here. So it works.
Excellent.
Great. Super wonderful.
Um, 25 out at the bottom, as usual.
Let me make sure because, they've been. Yep.
Okay.
Actually, you can go to 25-30 would be fine.
Okay.
So shoot for 25, and if we can get 25-30, we're okay.
Okay.
We're still good. I love that. Beaches are closed, but yet there's people standing on them. Yeah. Wait, what? Are they closed or not, Chris? I'm confused here. Look at that, man. Surprised there's not any surfers out though. There they are. Sorry, my bad. That's Galveston, right? Brazoria County is Galveston, I believe. Look at that. Wow. I like leather.
Yes.
Big fan of the leather. Okay, do you really need glasses on that one eye? I mean, come on. Can't you get a monocle?
I should paint that.
Yeah. You know what, though? That's something you don't see a lot of anymore. Is monocles.
Right. We got to bring them back.
Monocles should come back.
Yes.
I think I'll get one for Yacht Rock Tuesday. I'll get an ascot and a monocle.
Nice.
Yeah. Remember Colonel Klink?
Colonel Klink had a monocle.
It was one of the most famous monocles of all time, Chris. God. Wow. How is that possible? Here we go. Stand by.
Just ahead of headlines, traffic, and weather together. And we've been talking about this, Mr. T. Broadway Bank partnering with the San Antonio Food Bank, providing summer snacks for kids. And they need your help because more than 200,000 students who are not in school in the summer, living in low-income households in Bexar County, are at risk of food insecurity.
Yeah, and it's real simple to get involved. You can go to any of the Broadway Bank financial centers in Bexar County and pick up a box. And on the side of the box, it gives you the list of the stuff that you can put in the box, and then you can drop it back off at Broadway Bank.
Get more information from Broadway Bank and the Food Bank. Summer snacks for kids. Charity McCurdy, what stories are you following?
Well, tropical storm warnings are in place along the Texas Gulf Coast as we're expecting to get some heavy rain. President Biden announced another immigration policy, and the markets and banks are closed for the Juneteenth, which is a federal holiday. We'll have the latest coming up. Right now, traffic and weather together.
Showers this morning will evolve into more steady rain this afternoon, highs in low 80s. Tomorrow, showers early, steady rain in the afternoon, highs in the upper 80s. Friday, cloudy with occasional showers, highs right around 90 degrees. 75 at City Base, 76 in Terrell Hills, and 75 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 622.
San Antonio's first news, Charlie Parker will be along with Those Were the Days at 6:48. It is a Wembenyama Wednesday. We are 1 week away from the NBA draft. So we are asking you on the free iHeartRadio app if how you feeling about the Spurs? Are you impatient? Are you happy? Are you excited about the draft? Do you think they'll return to the playoffs? What would you like to see them do? And Charity McCurdy, how do they tell us these things?
The free iHeartRadio app, just search the radio station 1200 WOAI, hit that red circle. That's the talkback button. Gives you 30 seconds to let us know all your thoughts concerning the Spurs.
And Mr. T, we've got a cool prize and maybe even more. Somebody's getting more than one prize, in fact.
Yes, what's going to happen is we're going to pick winners today. 2 people will win tickets to see the music of Led Zeppelin with the San Antonio Philharmonic Orchestra this Saturday at the Majestic Theater. And out of the 5 people we give tickets to, 1 person is going to win a Michael Kelly guitar.
I Googled, and Michael Kelly guitars are pretty serious guitars.
MK guitars,
Yeah.
as they call them? Yes.
They're pretty cool.
Yes, they are.
All right, so what do we got?
We got Kemper.
Not to be a downer on this Wemby Wednesday, but I think we have to just focus on patience when it comes to the Spurs. It's going to take a lot of time to build a dynasty again and bring us to a championship. And wanted to comment on that JT mugshot. I see a lot of them in my job, and that is the sexiest one I've ever seen. But people, drinking and driving isn't sexy. If you got the money, and even if you don't, plan for a ride ahead of time.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Great advice.
Lots going on in that one talk back from Kemper.
You know, so in the mugshots, he brought sexy back, didn't
Yes. Bringing sexy back to the mugshots. and Charity, this just in, Justin Timberlake has a concert in Chicago this weekend. The show will go on. He will perform.
Yeah, I guess when the officer didn't recognize who he was, JT reportedly said, "Oh, this is going to ruin my tour, my world tour." and the cop had no idea what he was talking about.
Wow, how does a cop not know who Justin Timberlake is?
Especially in the Hamptons.
I know.
Don't,
Yeah.
I mean, don't you expect it's the Hamptons? I'm going to pull somebody over. They're probably somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, there's a lot of gray and that scruff on JT's face. So maybe, he doesn't look like he did when he was in his prime. I mean, we
That's
can all
true.
relate to that.
That's true.
So.
That's true. Good thing is when he's on tour, he's probably got drivers.
Let's hope
Just
so.
saying.
Let's hope so. All right. Tell you what, Charity's got everything you need to know right here at the bottom of the hour. One of the big stories is the weather. Charity will have more on that. Plus, we'll take another deep dive into the weather coming up at 6:40. Charlie Parker with Those Were the Days at 6:48. WOAI News Time, 6:25. Woohoo! Echo 5 Hotel, good morning. Good morning, everybody on the live video stream this morning. Justin Verlander on the 15-day injured list.
Wow, somebody's just really clueless here.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need a regime change in the Spurs coaching department. Popovich needs to go. He's such a liberal hack. He spews nasty, vile, and disgusting things. And when he speaks, I'm tired of it. He ran off the good players because he's such a liberal hack. Okay, what players did he run off? Did I miss something? Was I asleep?
I guess Kawhi didn't like his politics. Wow.
No, Kawhi just, that's totally, I don't even like saying that name. Well, he ran Tim Duncan off,
Yeah.
and Tony and Manu, because they should still be playing, right? Come on, people. Wow.
Charity McCurdy coming up here at the bottom of the hour with everything you need to know. Good morning. 20 people joining us this morning thus far on YouTube on a rainy, soon to be rainy, not rainy yet, soon to be rainy Wednesday.
I agree with Ray. We do need a good point guard, but
Yeah.
not Chris Paul. Guy can't make it to the playoffs, man. He's always injured.
Yeah.
Almost sounds like she says without lemons.
Yeah.
Well, how am I supposed to make lemonade? Mm. We got to change up this talk show, man.
Okay.
It's just not good. 40, you want to talk weather again?
Sure. So you want me to tell her we're going to change the talk back to rainy day activities?
Yeah. So we will be able to fly out of here Tuesday to get over there.
Yeah,
right?
and we got a reason. Yeah, it's like, sorry.
Oh, yeah, man. So we'll have to do the promo ahead of time. All
Okay.
that's got to be done ahead of time, just like tomorrow, Friday.
Yeah.
And
Works for me.
I've got her. Well, that's for Friday. I don't have something for Mondays. 30 seconds till charity. Enjoy.
.30 is our time. San Antonio's first news. Good Wednesday morning. I'm Charity McCurdy. Among our top stories, potential tropical storm Alberto is expected to soak South Texas. President Biden announced new immigration policy, and the Russia-North Korea alliance deepens. Details ahead. First, traffic and weather together every 10 minutes in mornings. Your Weather Channel forecast for this Wednesday. Showers this morning becoming steady throughout the day with at least an inch of rain expected, a high of only 82. Another half an inch of rainfall tonight, a low of 75. Right now, 77 degrees. We continue to follow breaking news as Texas is bracing for the first real taste of the hurricane season. Here's Fox Weather's Robert Ray reporting from Corpus Christi.
A tropical system that's been developing for days in the Gulf of Mexico, and the National Hurricane Center expects it to become Tropical Storm Alberto. Now, though the cone will likely hit Mexico about 400 miles to the south of Corpus Christi, the effects and the impacts will be felt along the Texas coast and even into southwest Louisiana. That includes 2 to 4 feet of storm surge in places like Padre Island and Corpus Christi, and the potential for up to a foot of rain. What that will cause is flash flooding scenarios in an area that has not seen a lot of precipitation in the last few months. In Corpus Christi, Robert Ray, Fox Weather.
And locally, we could see at least 2 inches of rainfall, with heavy rainfall expected to pick up this afternoon and continue tomorrow. San Antonio has a marginal risk of flooding. Well, tens of thousands of people in Texas could be affected by the president's immigration plan released this week.
The plan is to protect those who are married to an American and have lived in the country for more than 1 decade. Lance Curtright, who is an immigration attorney in San Antonio, says that documentation is a big deal.
To work and to be here without fear, it's to fully recognize your humanity.
He pushed back against claims that this plan is blanket amnesty. There are tight guardrails, he says, when it comes to who qualifies. In Texas, over 3 million people live in a home with someone who is undocumented. Michael Board, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
Meantime, Governor Abbott told Fox's Hannity Texas will not be following the president's measure.
What Biden did today is illegal, unconstitutional. Texas is going to take legal action and put a stop to it.
Senior administration officials say it can affect upwards of 500,000 migrants. Russia and North Korea have promised to help each other if attacked. Here's Fox's Jonathan Savage.
The centerpiece moment of Russian President Vladimir Putin's trip to North Korea is one that cements his partnership with Kim Jong-un. The two leaders have signed a deal vowing to come to each other's aid in the face of aggression. We're told the agreement is defensive and peaceful in nature, but it raises questions about how far each country will go. Will North Korea get more involved in the war in Ukraine? Will Russia help Pyongyang overcome international sanctions? Ahead of the announcement, a suspicious South Korea had sent Russia a message: don't get too cozy with the North. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
Well, Boeing CEO David Calhoun testified on Capitol Hill yesterday before the Senate Subcommittee on Investigations. His first appearance since a panel blew out of a 737 MAX plane during an Alaska Airlines flight in January. In his opening remarks, Calhoun addressed the incident.
We deeply regret the impact that the Alaska Airlines Flight 1282 accident had on Alaska Airlines team and its passengers. And we are grateful to the pilots and crew for safely landing the plane. We are thankful that there were no fatalities.
Calhoun also says Boeing is cooperating with the NTSB and the FAA in their investigations. Calhoun announced in March that he would retire at the end of the year. Well, the Texas Ethics Commission is changing the rules for political advertising.
Texans who spread propaganda on social media must now say if they got paid to post it. The change was made this week to keep up with the rise in political advertising on social media. But UTSA professor John Taylor says the devil is in the details.
You really, I think, are going to have to explain exactly what is and what is not covered by this.
During the impeachment trial of the Texas Attorney General, influencers were being quietly paid $50 a post to defend Ken Paxton. Much of that came from a company called Influenceable, run by former Trump aide Brad Parscale. I'm Rex Oates, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
The Bexar County Sheriff's Office is taking action to prevent jail overcrowding by sending inmates to other counties. Deputy chiefs explained to Commissioner's Court yesterday that 150 inmates were transferred last week and another 148 are standing by. The Sheriff's Office made the move to keep the jail from exceeding capacity, which would violate state compliance. 30 inmates went to Kerr County and the other 120 went to Burnett County. Bexar County is paying the other counties to accept the transfers. Well, the pastor of a Texas megachurch has resigned after admitting he sexually abused a young girl decades ago.
Robert Morris, founder of Gateway Church near Dallas, submitted his resignation to the church's board of elders. Last week, a religion blog reported a woman's allegation that Morris abused her when she was 12. Morris, in a statement, admitted to inappropriate sexual behavior when he was in his 20s. He said the contact was not intercourse, but in his words, it was wrong. The Board of Elders said Morris has discussed having an extramarital relationship, but never said it was abuse of a 12-year-old child. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
The San Antonio water system is still withholding water service from one of 4 apartment complexes that fell behind on their payments. SAWS cut off service to the complexes because of unpaid bills, adding up to more than $280,000. Westwood Plaza, Roselawn, and Serenity Townhomes have since paid up, and their water is flowing again. Tenants of an unnamed 4th complex on West Magnolia still have dry taps. Well, today is Juneteenth, the newest of the federal holidays.
Juneteenth, which was made official
federal holiday in 2021 marks the day in 1865 that slaves in Texas were given the news that they were freed by President Abraham Lincoln. That day was more than 2 years after President Lincoln had signed the Emancipation Proclamation on January 1st, 1863. The emancipation had not been enforced in Texas, and it took an appearance by Union Major General Gordon Granger in Galveston on this day in 1865 to announce, in General Order Number 3, the, quote, absolute equality of personal rights and rights of property. Texas became the first state to make Juneteenth a state holiday in 1980, decades before it was made a federal one. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
It is 6:37, news at the top and bottom of every hour, along with breaking news as it happens. I'm Charity McCurdy. Here's traffic and weather.
Ellie, we're back.
Woohoo!
We might have found our second winner.
Okay.
We got one that we can play. Danny and Pipe Creek. Probably. Stand by, Chris.
San Antonio's first news, Mr. T, Tim Merriman, Charity McCurdy, Charlie Parker with Those Were the Days at 6:48. I'm Chris Duell, Andrew Zimmel, flying the Millennium Falcon solo and directing the live video stream on YouTube. If you want to be a part of that, go to YouTube, look for 1200 WOAI. There is also a live video chat. You can chat with us and other viewers in real time. And Charity, the big story this morning is the weather, as you've been reporting and as we spoke with meteorologist Ray Stajic of the Weather Channel. By the way, we'll talk with him again in about 10 minutes. The major rain in the San Antonio area could be beginning around the noon hour, maybe a little earlier in the 11 o'clock hour. But once it starts to kick in, it looks like it's going to be with us throughout the day and into the night.
Yeah, as you mentioned, around noon, that's when it really ramps up. And they're saying occasional on and off rain showers, but I think by noon, you can expect steady rainfall, and we are expected to accumulate at least an inch, another half an inch of rainfall tonight, and then, more tomorrow. So it's one of those things where if you don't have to be out on the roads, don't, because we know how people drive in San Antonio when it rains, even a little bit. But, it's been a long time since we've gotten this much forecasted rainfall in a short amount of time.
It really has been a while, and we need the rain. That's for sure. We definitely need the rain. And if it's going to be raining all day and all evening into tonight, we don't have any more NBA to watch. I mean, what do you do when it's raining outside? I mean, there's something to keep you entertained. What do you do?
It's got to be streaming. I mean, it's there's so much streaming I need to catch up on.
Exactly.
And you just added to my list. You said there's a Willie Mays documentary on HBO Max.
Yes.
So I guess that's going to be my rainy day activity. Charity?
I have to watch the latest episode of Dark Matter on
it's
Apple
Wednesday,
Plus.
a new episode dropped.
Oh,
Yes,
that's right.
So
Good.
I got to catch up. But with the kids, I mean, I have to like bust out Junior Twister, board games.
Oh, there you go.
And once that runs its course, we'll put on the rain boots and get the umbrellas, rain jackets, and go puddle jumping.
I love puddle jumping.
You live vicariously through the kids. That's what I do. So.
By the way, you got me hooked on dark matter, and my wife. We're and in fact, we're all caught up, and now I know that Wednesdays the new episodes
Perfect.
drop.
Perfect day for it.
Yeah.
Go home and
I like
kick that on. See, I remember when I was a kid, I had an elementary school at the end of my street, and whenever it rained, we would get all the kids together and we'd go down there and play football because in the middle of the field there was this giant puddle, and the rules of that day were you cannot go around that puddle. You have to run through that puddle, and we would tackle people in that puddle. I would come home just covered in mud. It was so much fun.
Straight to the bathtub. That's what I do with the kids. They're
Well,
such a mess. Yeah.
My mom would make me go into the utility room, strip everything off, throw it in the washer, and then go change and get in the bathtub. Yes.
That too. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it was fun, man. Those were the good old days. Can adults still do stuff like that? Because I want to go out.
Absolutely.
I want to go out and play in puddles.
And adults should. That's how you stay young. You don't give up on the things that you loved when you were younger. But I'm just wondering, and you talked about hurricane season, Charity, and granted, these aren't hurricanes at this point, but, NOAA, we reported on this weeks and weeks ago, has predicted a more intense hurricane season than normal. So as far as keeping an eye on the weather, keeping an eye on the Texas Gulf Coast, this could be just, chapter one of many, many chapters between now and maybe even October, November.
Yeah, and we talked to Ray Stajic, and he'll talk to us again coming up. There's reports that there's another tropical disturbance pretty much right on top of this current one. So there's a lot of rainfall that we could get. Although we are in the marginal risk for flooding in the San Antonio area, it's one of those things you do have to keep your eye on.
Yeah, definitely always keep your eyes on that. So maybe we should ask the people what they do for rainy days. What are their rainy day activities? 'Cause
Yes.
I'm curious. I might find something new.
Does anybody play board games anymore? Does anybody play Monopoly? Does anybody play Scrabble? Does anybody?
I haven't finished the last game of Monopoly I started, so no.
What about chess and checkers?
See, I
My
like
kids know
chess.
how to play chess.
So do my kids.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's
Checkers,
great.
not so much. Chess, yes.
All right, so we want to hear from you. And by the way, the same deal though. We're still
Sure.
giving away.
Sure.
We're giving away 5 for the rest of the week. We're going to give away 2 today.
2 today, 2 tomorrow, 1 on Friday, and then we'll have a 1 in 5 chance to win a Michael Kelly guitar, which is a really nice guitar.
Yes, and the giveaway is this weekend, Saturday night. Is it Saturday night?
Saturday night at the Majestic Theater.
The music of Led Zeppelin with the San Antonio Philharmonic Orchestra.
Yeah,
That's a
which
good-
would be pretty cool.
Yeah. So, Charity, how would they get in touch with us and leave us their talk back?
The free iHeartRadio app, just search the radio station 1200 WOAI, hit that red circle. That's the talk back button, gives you 30 seconds. Let
All
us
right.
know how you entertain yourself during the
Yes,
rain. Yeah.
and if you have a streaming recommendation, because
Ooh, that's
after I
good
watched
too, yeah.
Dark Matter today, I'm going to need some new programming. You can throw that in as well. All right, coming up at 6:50, we'll check in with Ray Stajic of the Weather Channel. Coming right up, though, Charlie Parker with Those Were the Days. News Radio 1200 WOAI time is 6:45.
I got one already on what to do tonight.
Very cool.
And one on the Spurs.
Okay. Excellent. Marco Serta says the school you're describing sounds like Colby Glass Elementary
It
School.
was actually Mary Hull Elementary
Ah.
School over on right off of Military Drive, where I grew up at. Military and West Lawn. To be
Very
honest.
nice.
Yeah. But yeah, it was great. Now they built a building there, so thank God it wasn't there when we used to play. Because right where we used to play, there's now a building. They've expanded the school,
Wow.
and they took out our football field.
That's so wrong.
It is. Poor kids today don't have a place to play mud football. That's what we used to call it, mud football. It was good times, Chris. Good times.
Woohoo.
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch the Willie Mays thing.
Brian Gann with the
Yeah, I
latest
saw that,
rain
yeah.
projections.
Slide down a hill in the grass. Oh, that sounds like fun. Never stop walking in the rain. I love it, Jay Kemp. Is that Kemper?
That is Kemper. I do
Okay.
believe.
Are you sure?
I am 90% sure.
Is that you, Kemper? Are you Jay Kemp P? I think it is her.
Yep.
Sounds like it by the way she types. That's her cadence.
We can tell the way the way it sounds, the way you type.
Yes. It sounds like you. Exactly. Hey, there's Kemper. Yes, I am Kemper. That'd make a good movie. Yes, I am Kemper.
Kemper, you leave us the greatest talkbacks ever.
Yes, you do.
We're big fans of what you do. You really contribute to the show and elevate it.
And your delivery
we
is
appreciate
just
it.
spot on.
Yes,
always,
my God.
Always. And see, it's supposed to be a wacky Wednesday, so, you know.
I know.
We wore
Mr.
our wacky
T has
shirts.
a wacky T-shirt.
It's one of my favorite shirts, actually.
Not exactly wacky, but it's got attitude.
It's got
Houston
attitude, that's for
Astros
sure, man.
Hate us.
I actually kind of like that.
Yeah.
Now, who gave that to you? Because you told
My
me.
niece
That's
Taylor,
right.
who took me to my first ever World Series game
Right on.
back in 2017, when the Astros were in the World Series.
Was that the cheating year?
That was allegedly cheating year.
Look, everybody steals signs, man. Come on.
Yeah, my point on that, one of my points, if you think only the Astros were doing that,
No.
you are wrong. In the 1800s, they used binoculars to steal signs.
Look,
Now they
I
use
think
video.
what really got them was the fact that they used technology and got caught using
Yeah.
technology. And I don't think they were the only ones to use technology.
I think everyone
they
was.
just got caught.
Yeah.
And see, that's what bothers me about the College World Series and the women's, softball World
Mhm.
Series. They now have these little watch things that they get their signs from.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to steal those,
Good
man?
point.
Got to hack into it. You know,
Yeah.
that's you can do it if you got a good, smart guy that's on your team. You could hack into them. But man, I just don't like that.
Now, the Express News, their big banner ad is the music of Led Zeppelin.
Okay. With the San Antonio Philharmonic. And they spelled Led Zeppelin right because our people spelled it with 2 D's.
Well, radio people.
Yeah, look,
You
see?
know.
Led Zeppelin.
Wow.
Yeah. Via Armendia. Okay. We got enough to actually Scrabble, Uno. Okay. Have you ever watched Supernatural?
I don't think so.
Because this guy's talking about binge watching / streaming Supernatural on Netflix.
I don't know I don't even know it.
I don't know it either. I was just wondering. Okay. All right, so we've got 1 spur and 3. Wait, what's this one?
Kemper, totally agree. It's just like in college football when someone gets busted for recruiting violate. Like everybody, they're recruiting. I mean, I'm not happy about it, but everybody steals signs in baseball, and every college program does nefarious things when it comes to recruiting.
Remember the old SMU Mustangs with Eric
God,
Dickerson?
yes.
The big joke was he had to take a pay cut to come into the NFL.
Yes.
And that's probably true.
Yes.
Eric Dickerson, the only player that wore every piece of equipment available to man.
Yes. And when I was living in LA, a lot of people got really frustrated with. It extended his career,
Sure.
but he would run out rather than take the hit.
Oh,
he
yeah,
would run out of bounds. Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah. But that's why he lasted like
Yeah.
he did. And the thing about the sign stealing, though, you still got to be able to hit the ball. Whether you know what the pitch is or whatever, you still got to be able to hit the ball.
Yes.
All right, I've got Ray. Remember your intro?
Yeah. Where are we now, and what can we expect throughout the day?
Boom. Where the day.
Do they hear Charlie Parker? They do not.
Anything that we got to fix this, okay? If we're actually going to do this and do this right, it needs to be everything, not
Totally
just
agree.
everything that comes out of here. Because I don't understand why we can't do that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because they don't hear Flashback. They don't hear any of the Yacht Rock. On Tuesdays, Yacht Rock Tuesday, unless they're listening on their phone at the same time they're online.
What about the whatever plays it out on the speakers? What is that?
That I don't know.
Wheatstone?
Yeah, that's what we're on right now. That's Wheatstone.
No, but is there a Wheatstone feed that we could send to?
That I don't know. I know he's got us jumping through like hoops to get the audio from here to there. I'm not sure, but see, I think from what I understand, if we didn't have to use these cameras and actually had separate cameras, it would be a totally different thing.
Yeah,
but these are not. These are just set up so that they can monitor us when we're not on the air and find out what we're talking about. That's all they're set up for.
Correct.
It's my birthday too, yeah. Never out of control. Harley. Do-do-do-do-do. Dun, dun, do-do-do-do-do.
A-C-D-C. Not A-C-D-C.
No.
And here are some of the
close.
stories we're following for you. South Texas is bracing for possible flooding
gonna
as
have to get
potential
right to it,
tropical
Chris.
storm brews in the Gulf of Mexico. Governor Abbott is slamming President Biden's newly announced immigration
Maybe a little
policy, and Russia and
Sorry.
North Korea have signed a partnership deal, which includes military and defense collaboration. We'll have details coming up right now. Traffic and weather together.
Together. Showers this morning, steady rain this afternoon, highs in the low 80s. Tomorrow, same thing, but highs in the upper 80s. Friday, cloudy with occasional showers, highs right around 90 degrees. 77 in Alamo Heights, 77 at City Base, and 75 here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 6:55.
San Antonio's first news. Let's get a comprehensive look at our weather with Weather Channel meteorologist Ray Stajic. Ray, we've got that disturbance in the southern Gulf of Mexico. Where are we now, and what can we expect throughout the day?
Well, first thing, let's go disturbances now, because believe it or not, the Hurricane Center has practically one laid right on top of the other. You got potential tropical cyclone 1. That's the one that does have a chance here becoming a tropical storm. That's one we had talked about yesterday. And there's actually now disturbance 2 that's practically sitting right over the top of it, or pretty close to it, the Western Gulf, that over the weekend could make a move and increase rain chances in South Texas. So we'll deal with one at a time. What we've done first with potential tropical cyclone from where we were yesterday is Bexar County now not in the flood watch. But if you go south, then just south or adjacent counties, they are. So Wilson, Atascosa, Gonzales off to our east, and then east of that, we're already starting to see the rain come in into areas just east of a line from about Gonzales down through Yorktown as you get into DeWitt counties and down further south of that and east, where we're starting to see some of that rain come in. Now, what I do want to emphasize with that, do not think that just because Bexar County, Guadalupe County, and areas west and north of that into the hill country, just because you're not in the flood watch does not mean we may not get flooding. Remember how the watch is defined in and around the watch area. And I do think we'll still get anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of rain, a little bit more to the southern parts of town and off to the west and north, less rainfall where they actually needed more. There's higher drought conditions in the hill country and the Edwards Plateau. But I still think we have some problems later this morning, in through later today and tonight, especially when some of the heaviest rain comes in.
And Ray, yeah, specifically regarding the timing, it seems like the rain chances really pick up around 11 o'clock, or maybe around noon, and then it'll stick around potentially through Friday?
It's probably going to stick around through tonight on and off, and then become more widely scattered for Thursday and Friday. So, yes, we'll stay with rain chances, but I really think the heaviest of the rain is going to be this afternoon into tonight. Most of our rain will probably fall over the next, let me say conservatively, the next 24 hours. And then beyond that, more widely scattered rainfall. So if you're driving this morning, you're kind of like, well, where is it? And you're saying, well, this isn't bad. So this afternoon's commute could be a whole different ball of wax, especially if you're going south or east, where as you get closer to the coast, that's where you run into the tropical storm advisories. I believe they even put up some warnings now, too, for parts of coastal Texas. Yeah, they're tropical storm warnings. They'll kick in for tropical storm conditions from potential tropical cyclone 1. So we'll see. The winds are still at 40. So you say, well, that's a tropical storm, isn't it? Well, it's not, because it's not just the winds, which they've estimated to be at 40 miles per hour. We need to have a closed circulation, meaning that center of low pressure has got to have that wind, and you got to have a closed low is what we define in the business. That may happen. It may not. It doesn't matter. If it becomes a named storm or not, the impacts are still what I just mentioned. At times, some heavy rainfall, the potential for some flooding. Best chance will be south and east.
And you mentioned the wind. Are we going to see a lot of wind here in our area?
Probably not. We could gust 25, 30 miles per hour. Yeah, and it's tough to say, well, is that going to mean there's going to be problems? You never know. Just because you don't get severe winds doesn't mean you get a gust over 30 that could just, by chance, just hit the wrong place at the wrong time, break a branch or something like that. But, that's really trying to get into the extreme. I don't think extreme wind, even the winds along the coast, will be at 40, maybe gust to 50 miles per hour. Some of the squalls, though, coming in along the coast may have some stronger winds. But I really think strongest winds to tropical storm force plus, which is 39 miles per hour, well east and south of us.
Our thanks to Weather Channel meteorologist Ray Stajic. We will stay all over this weather coverage throughout the morning, throughout the day here on 1200 WOAI. Coming up at 7:10 in a segment we call Wait Till You Hear This, we will remember the Say Hey Kid, Willie Mays. But first, it is time for Charity McCurdy and all the news you need to know about on this Wednesday morning. WOAI news time is 7 o'clock.
Seven o'clock is our time. San Antonio's first news. Good Wednesday morning. I'm Charity McCurdy. Among our top stories, heavy rainfall is expected as a result of a potential tropical storm Alberto. President Biden unveils another immigration policy, and baseball Hall of Famer Willie Mays has died. Details ahead. First, traffic and weather together every 10 minutes in mornings. Your Weather Channel forecast for this Wednesday: showers this morning, becoming steady throughout the day with at least an inch of rain expected, a high of 82. Another half an inch of rainfall tonight, a low of 75. Right now, 77 degrees. We continue to follow breaking news as Texas is bracing for the first real taste of the hurricane season. Fox Weather's Robert Ray reports from Corpus Christi.
A tropical system that's been developing for days in the Gulf of Mexico, and the National Hurricane Center expects it to become Tropical Storm Alberto. Now, though the cone will likely hit Mexico about 400 miles to the south of Corpus Christi, the effects and the impacts will be felt along the Texas coast and even into southwest Louisiana. That includes 2 to 4 feet of storm surge in places like Padre Island and Corpus Christi, and the potential for up to a foot of rain. What that will cause is flash flooding scenarios in an area that has not seen a lot of precipitation in the last few months. In Corpus Christi, Robert Ray, Fox Weather.
And rain is already hitting the coastal bend, but residents told Chris TV they're ready.
I'm crazy enough to come out here while it's storming. I don't care.
Some people went out fishing. A lot of the guides canceled their trips and stuff. You know, people just getting their boats out of the water and stuff so they don't float away and stuff.
The highest rainfall potential is south of us, but at least 2 inches of rain is possible around San Antonio. President Biden is clearing the way for tens of thousands of undocumented immigrants married to U.S. citizens to stay in the country. Fox's Jared Halpern has more on Decision 2024.
The president says it is a false choice to either have a secure border or pathways to citizenship for undocumented immigrants.
Folks, I'm not interested in playing politics with the border or immigration. I'm interested in fixing it.
A new executive order will shield undocumented immigrants who have lived in the U.S. for at least 10 years and are married to a U.S. citizen protection from deportation while applying for legal status. It comes 2 weeks after President Biden signed an order restricting asylum claims when border crossings hit certain thresholds. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Speaking to Fox's Hannity, Governor Abbott believes this wouldn't solve the issue and will only make things worse.
What that shows to the entire world is come to the border as quickly as you can, because it's possible that you too may be able to get amnesty. So this is nothing more than a magnet that will actually increase illegal immigration.
Well, Russia and North Korea have promised to help each other if attacked. Here's Fox's Jonathan Savage.
The centerpiece moment of Russian President Vladimir Putin's trip to North Korea is one that cements his partnership with Kim Jong-un. The two leaders have signed a deal vowing to come to each other's aid in the face of aggression. We're told the agreement is defensive and peaceful in nature, but it raises questions about how far each country will go. Will North Korea get more involved in the war in Ukraine? Will Russia help Pyongyang overcome international sanctions? Ahead of the announcement, a suspicious South Korea had sent Russia a message: don't get too cozy with the North. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
Well, a woman is dead after being shot in the front yard of her West Side home on South Woodlawn Lake. Police Chief William McManus says a 15-year-old believed to be her son may have been responsible.
A juvenile family member shot the woman in the back. Weapon used was a shotgun. The suspect is in custody.
Police are also questioning another person in the case as they tried to determine what happened. Well, there won't be any regular mail delivery today as the U.S. Postal Service observes this Juneteenth. Most municipal offices in San Antonio will be closed, but garbage collection will operate on a normal schedule. Wall Street and banks are closed today, while most retailers are open. Juneteenth commemorates the end of slavery in the U.S. It is 7:06, news at the top and bottom of every hour, along with breaking news as it happens. I'm Charity McCurdy. Traffic and weather coming up.
Hello, everybody. You will hear a Willie Mays montage / retrospective coming up for, wait till you hear this.
And he was gonna be at that thing they're doing tomorrow night at the was it Brickwood for the Negro Leagues? They're playing a game there.
Oh yeah,
he was gonna be there.
Wow.
Yeah, it was allegedly, when originally planned, he was going to be there,
He's on
but
the list.
yeah, and something came up. He was sick. He pulled out before he died because apparently he was not feeling well.
Yeah.
But they had planned to have him there.
Wow.
Because that's where he started in the Negro Leagues.
Backyard Smoker Barbecue, welcome in.
And yes, you can fire up your backyard smoker or grill in the rain.
Yes, you can.
I've done it many times.
Connie Davis, everybody, with
Yeah.
a very interesting dress.
When she goes in the studio, she doesn't look as shiny.
Yeah.
Stand by.
San Antonio's first news, Charity McCurdy is back. He's Mr. T, Tim Merriman. I'm Chris Duell. Andrew Zimmel flying the Millennium Falcon solo and also directing our YouTube live video stream. You can be a part of that. A lot of great people are in there this morning and always. Go to YouTube, look for 1200 WOAI, and you can be a part of that. Big 7 o'clock hour, 7:20, Mike Opelka from the Pure Opelka podcast. We'll take a deep dive into this weather with national correspondent Rory O'Neill at 7:40, and at 7:50, White House correspondent John Decker on President Biden taking executive action regarding undocumented spouses of citizens of the United States, his new immigration policies. But first, let's get you caught up on traffic and weather together.
Showers this morning, steady rain this afternoon, highs in the low 80s. Tomorrow, showers early, steady rain in the afternoon, highs in the upper 80s. And then on Friday, cloudy with occasional showers, highs right around 90. 77 degrees at Woodlawn Lake, 77 in Kirby, and 75 here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 7:10.
San Antonio's first news every weekday morning at this time. We span the globe to bring you the constant variety of audio in a segment we call Wait Till You Hear This. And he was the greatest center fielder who ever lived, arguably maybe the greatest, or certainly one of the greatest baseball players to have ever lived. Willie Mays has died in the Bay Area at the age of 93.
Yeah, it was such a bummer. I was really bummed out when I heard this yesterday evening. It just, he was, like you said, probably one of the best baseball players of all time. So today's Wait Till You Hear This. It's all about Willie Mays. You're going to hear from Willie first, and then you're going to hear a song they wrote about Willie at the end of it. Here is today's Wait Till You Hear This.
Are you Willie Mays, the greatest baseball player of all time?
I don't do that. So many things happen with me on the baseball field that I could just look back and just replay every moment. I never had a day where somebody would not come up and say, I saw you make a play, I love you because of what you did for me. And it made me feel very, very proud because not only did I play baseball for the people, they enjoyed what I did.
Say hey, say who, say Willie, say hey, say who, swinging at the plate, say hey, say who, say Willie, that Giants kid is great, that Giants kid is great, say Willie, what you gonna say?
Say hey. What
a great tune.
Great tune.
For the Say Hey Kid Willie Mays.
So I guess that nickname came from the fact that he was reportedly shy and would just blurt out, say who, say what, say where, say hey.
Say hey. Yep, that's where it came from. That's where it came from. What a great player he was.
Yes.
Man. And did you know that, he was in the league for 22 years, but played in 24 All-Star games?
Huh? How'd you do that?
In the beginning, or towards the beginning of his career, they would have 2 All-Star games a year, one of them to raise money for the players' pension fund, and then that kind of lost luster, so they quit it. But that's how he played in 24 All-Star games in only 22 years of playing.
Wow, I saw someone posted on X overnight from a number of years ago, not that many years ago, less than 10, the late, great Vin Scully talking with Willie Mays and saying, and Vin Scully, obviously the longtime Dodgers voice, but saying to Willie Mays, you were the greatest ball player I've ever seen. He said, you were my favorite ball player, even though you wore the wrong uniform.
Wow.
You were a San Francisco Giant. And of course, Vin Scully, the voice of the Dodgers forever. Very cool to see one legend, Vin Scully, giving kudos to another legend, Willie Mays.
And worth hearing that infamous catch back in 1954. Here it is.
There's a long drive way back in center field, way back, it is gone! Willie Mays just brought this on to his feet with a catch.
Earning him his 1 World Series title.
Yeah. And I heard him talk about that catch. And he said the thing he was worried about the most, it wasn't about catching the ball. It was about how fast he was going to be able to get the ball back to the infield.
Yeah.
That's the kind of player he was.
And, Charity played the audio there, which was spectacular. And also just the footage, the film footage of that over the shoulder catch, running toward the outfield to catch that ball. Wow. So amazing. What a life. Willie Mays gone at the age of 93. As we roll forward, Mike Opelka from the Pure Opelka podcast, his take on the morning's big stories coming right up. WOAI News Time, 7:14.
Okay. Okay. Fun stuff.
That was good. That was good audio. That was a good. It was
fun.
Where do you hear this? Let's see. I'm looking for Opelka. There he is.
Okay. Goodbye. Okay. We can ask Opelka. He's up in the place where they're getting all the heat.
Yeah.
From heat to rain. So, yeah.
That's good.
And it's abnormally hot where he's at in Delaware. You got the heat, and we got the rain. You want, we can tease these. We can mention these Led Zeppelin thing again.
Ahead of headlines?
Yeah, we're
Sure.
going to have like almost 2 minutes.
Okay.
If you're the talkbacks that we picked today, you will win tickets.
Beautiful.
Mm. Stand by.
Okay. Just ahead of headlines, traffic, and weather together, then Mike Opelka from the Pure Opelka podcast. And a little bit later in the show, we're going to listen to more talkbacks. We're asking you about the Spurs. We're asking you about rainy day activities. And we've got a very, very cool giveaway.
Yeah, we're going to pick two today are going to win a pair of tickets to see the music of Led Zeppelin with the San Antonio Philharmonic Orchestra this Saturday at the Majestic Theater. Then all the people that win tickets, we're going to throw their name in a hat and pick one on Friday. And that one lucky winner is going to win a Michael Kelly guitar.
So since there's going to be 5 winners, if you become one of the winners,
that's a
you
1
got
in
a
5
1 in
chance.
5 shot of getting the very cool guitar.
I was told there would be no math this early, but yes.
A bit of math. Charity, do you play the guitar?
I used to be able to play a little part of the Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Wow.
But I've totally lost my touch. But I've rediscovered my love of playing the piano because my
Nice.
daughter is taking piano lessons. So there's that.
You might have a place in our band, Chopped Liver.
Yes.
A
You might
special
be the
guest
keyboard player.
appearance. Yeah, by Eye Candy.
Yes. Then it would no longer be Chopped Liver.
That's true.
We have to change the name to Eye Candy.
Or CFR.
Yeah. Well, we're working on our band. We're putting the band back together. Charity McCurdy, what stories are you following?
A tropical storm watch has been extended along the Texas Gulf Coast due to a tropical disturbance that's expected to bring heavy rain. President Biden has announced new immigration policy, and the Bexar County Sheriff's Office is taking action to prevent jail overcrowding. We'll have more coming up. Right now, traffic and weather together.
Showers this morning, steady rain this afternoon, highs and low 80s. Tomorrow, showers early, steady rain in the afternoon, highs in the upper 80s. Friday, cloudy with occasional showers, highs right around 90 degrees. It is 77 degrees in Terrell Hill, 77 in Alamo Ranch, and 75 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 7:20.
San Antonio's first news every weekday morning at this time. We check in with Mike Opelka from the Pure Opelka podcast. He is brought to us by Randy Adams Incorporated. And Mike, a new immigration policy announced by President Joe Biden. Apparently, if you're an illegal, but you married an American citizen and have lived here for 10 years, he's going to make it easier for you to become a resident. What do you think of this?
Well, I'm worried about it, Chris, because it allows the president to augment or alter or edit his own order. It's not a law, and a law would have set up, strict parameters, but executive orders are spongy. They're squishy. And if he wakes up tomorrow and says, 10 years is a lot, how about we make it 10 minutes? I'm exaggerating to clarify, but this is the problem with executive orders, and I don't like it when either side uses them. And then how many people will then be inspired to find a way to marry an American who's a citizen to get their free pass, their Biden easy pass into the country? I just think this is wrong on all levels, and so many people see it as pandering just ahead of the election.
And Mike, how do you think this new policy will shape the hot button issue in next week's presidential debate?
I'm waiting to see that, Charity, but I just can't get past this. Now, every time I hear your voice, I'm going to hear, how can you have your pudding if you don't eat your meat? I want to see Charity with a big Stratocaster.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, please make that happen in my lifetime.
We will.
Ahead of the debate, yes, this will be part of the debate, but we're not going to see the back and forths that we've seen in previous debates because of the way CNN has rigged this in Biden's favor. I'm more worried about the question that I think we've been getting a hint. One of the first questions to Donald Trump is going to be who won the 2020 election. So watch for that. But yeah, this will be in the question pool.
And Mike, gas prices are rising, at least here in San Antonio. I know they are in my neck of the woods. Not where you're at, not yet.
Well, they went down for a couple of weeks, and then they look like they're back on the rise again. And that's a lot of it's because of use. And they call this, the draw of petroleum that's been coming out. But also watch the Biden administration to maybe completely drain the strategic petroleum reserve as if it hasn't been drained significantly enough in order to hammer down those prices ahead of the election. This is just not good planning. And someone's got to get into their heads and say, no, we have to have a rainy day fund of oil in case we need it.
And Mike, MSNBC's Rachel Maddow predicting that if Trump is reelected, he will take the TV show The View off the air. Is she trying to get more votes for Trump? Because
no kidding.
That sounds like a selling point to me.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of people who just stood up and cheered at that. People go, yes. But ABC News runs The View. I know that's kind of weird to think, but the networks are divided in entertainment and news divisions. So George Stephanopoulos is technically the head of The View. It's under his wing of ABC News. And Donald Trump doesn't. No president has that kind of power to pull a TV show. This is fear. This is fear, and this is what's going to be used. Watch, the fear is going to be dictator, abortion, and then controlling the media, which is kind of funny because the left pretty much controls the media.
And Mike, it sounds like Justin Timberlake had to eat a little bit of a humble pie during the exchange with the cop that ultimately arrested him.
Well, they don't serve humble pie drinks. Although, as a guy who spent 20 years in the Hamptons and spent many a Saturday evening at the American Hotel bar, it's kind of a fun place to be. I understand he might have had the proclivity to have a couple of drinks. He said he had one martini. What was more disturbing was the reports that when they pulled him over, he started yelling, "I'm not taking a chemical test. I'm not taking a chemical test." So we know Justin failed chemistry. But maybe the sadder thing in all of this is that the arresting officer did not know who he was.
Yeah. How is that possible?
Well, he's young. And it just made me feel suddenly very, very old. But this is what happens. I predict no jail time. He'll pay a fine. He'll probably have to do a benefit concert for the PBA in Sag Harbor, which is where all this happened. It's unfortunate, but now Brittany can say, finally caught up to me.
Nice. You can get more Mike Opelka through his Pure Opelka podcast.
Thank you, brother.
You bet. Get it wherever you get your podcasts. We recommend the free iHeartRadio app. Mike is brought to us by Randy Adams Incorporated. A big half hour coming up. 7:40 national correspondent Rory O'Neill takes a deep dive into the weather, not just what we're going through with the tropical storm, but the heat in the Northeast. Then White House correspondent John Decker on this immigration plan by President Joe Biden. WOAI News Time, 7:26.
Okay. All right.
All right. Woohoo! Ben W., welcome in. Ben says Justin Timberlake is a punk. A punk and a drunk. Nice.
A drunk punk.
A drunk punk.
He loves the view too.
Yes. Oh. You gonna have a talk with Mr. Parker?
Yeah, when we see him walk back over here, I'm say, hey, dude, I know you got a spot to do, but that's about it, brother. We got no time for you today.
Leo Terrell. He's coming up and he's angry.
Yes, he is. Yeah. Cowboys signed 2 UFL players. That's where we are, though.
They need
that's
all the help they
I
can
know,
get.
but that's where we are because they got no money.
Yeah.
Dak has it all. Maybe they can borrow some from Dak.
So Dak is taking us nowhere.
Nowhere. And if they restructure his contract to give them more money, that means we're stuck with him longer.
Yeah.
They can't do that.
Ben, the shirt is a Houston Astros shirt. Just reveling in the hatred. People hate the Houston Astros, and the shirt says, bring it, hate us, whatever. Time for my Dayquil shot. I did one at 3:30 a.m. Been 4 hours. Time
Bars
for another
open.
one.
Bars open. Time for Chris to start doing shots in the studio again.
Time for a shot, everybody. Woo.
Woo.
Woohoo. Here's looking at you, kid.
It makes my... Ugh. I don't like it.
Yeah, it tastes gross as hell.
Horrible, horrible, horrible.
This is day 13. I came back on a Thursday.
Damn.
Started getting a scratchy throat. Hey,
Wow.
I'm
okay,
better.
That's not right, though.
No,
that's a long time, man.
Combat K9 says, hey, First News team, hope you all can get home before the roads get bad and accidents inevitably occur.
Yes, sir.
You know, San Antonio, Texas ain't so great at driving in the rain.
Ain't so great at driving in the dry.
Now, the good news is the big rain isn't going to kick in until about 11 o'clock, noon-ish. So for anybody watching, if you're in the San Antonio area, if you can get home and get out of the rain, do it by noon if you can.
Yes, yeah, that would be the smart thing to do.
That would be good. That's my plan.
It's my plan, too. All right, here comes Charity with the news.
.31 is our time. San Antonio's First News. Good Wednesday morning. I'm Charity McCurdy. Among our top stories, potential tropical storm Alberto is expected to soak South Texas, and President Biden announces a new immigration policy. Details ahead. First, traffic and weather together every 10 minutes in mornings. Your Weather Channel forecast for this Wednesday. Showers this morning becoming steady throughout the day with at least an inch of rain expected, a high of only 82. Another half an inch of rainfall tonight, a low of 75. Right now, we're at 77 degrees. We continue to monitor breaking news as the potential tropical cyclone one that may become Alberto is skirting the shore and creating a lot of unstable weather for much of South Texas.
It is very large in size, and so we're going to be seeing those impacts along much of the Texas coast here over the next couple of days.
The National Weather Service's Corey Modis says, along with flash flood and storm surge warnings already posted, there's concerns about severe weather from this event today and tomorrow.
We have flash flooding threat, river flooding, coastal flooding, high rip currents. We also have a chance for a few isolated tornadoes potentially.
Several inches of rain is expected for the southern third of Texas as tropical storm warnings are up from Galveston to the Rio Grande. Eric Lycum, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
And locally, we could see at least 2 inches of rainfall, with heavy rainfall expected to pick up this afternoon and continue tomorrow. The head of the Texas Power Grid is predicting that the state will survive another hot summer without any rolling brownouts, but Pablo Vegas warned that there will be some days when it will be tight at night.
The tightest time to manage the grid has shifted from the peak load hours in the middle of the afternoon to the sunset hours in the evening.
That's when the sun goes down. Texas has increasingly relied on green energy to keep pace with growth. The projection is that Texas will need to double its electric generation by the year 2030. Well, President Biden has announced new policies to protect migrant spouses of U.S. citizens from deportation. Fox's Jeff Paul has more on Decision 2024.
The new immigration policy will impact roughly 500,000 married couples. It creates a legal pathway for not only the person who lacks citizenship, but for their kids as well. Now, under Biden's new plan, spouses without legal status in the U.S. can apply to become permanent residents without having to leave the U.S. to apply in their home country. The White House is framing this as, quote, new action to keep families together. The policy would impact non-citizens who've been in the country for at least 10 years.
Meantime, Governor Abbott told Fox's Hannity Texas will plan to secure the southern border and says the state will not be following the president's measure.
What Biden did today is illegal, unconstitutional. Texas is going to take legal action and put a stop to it.
Senior administration officials say it can affect upwards of 500,000 migrants. Well, Boeing CEO David Calhoun testified on Capitol Hill yesterday before the Senate Subcommittee on Investigations, his first appearance since the panel blew out of a 737 MAX plane during an Alaska Airlines flight in January. In his opening remarks, Calhoun addressed the incident.
We deeply regret the impact that the Alaska Airlines Flight 1282 accident had on Alaska Airlines team and its passengers. And we are grateful to the pilots and crew for safely landing the plane. We are thankful that there were no fatalities.
He says Boeing is cooperating with the NTSB and the FAA in their investigations. Calhoun announced in March that he would retire at the end of the year. Well, the pastor of a Texas megachurch has resigned after admitting he sexually abused a young girl decades ago. Here's Fox's Gernal Scott.
Robert Morris, founder of Gateway Church near Dallas, submitted his resignation to the church's board of elders. Last week, a religion blog reported a woman's allegation that Morris abused her when she was 12. Morris, in a statement, admitted to inappropriate sexual behavior when he was in his 20s. He said the contact was not intercourse, but in his words, it was wrong. The board of elders said Morris has discussed having an extramarital relationship, but never said it was abuse of a 12-year-old child. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Well, Texas-based Six Flags is merging with the parent company of Schlitterbahn. Six Flags officials announced that its merger with Cedar Fair will be finalized July 1st. The $8 billion deal will put all of Cedar Fair's properties under the control of Six Flags Entertainment Corporation. Cedar Fair operates 17 amusement parks and 11 resorts, including Schlitterbahn locations in New Braunfels and Galveston. Six Flags Fiesta Texas in San Antonio is one of 27 amusement parks operated by Six Flags. It is 7:37, news at the top and bottom of every hour, along with breaking news as it happens. I'm Charity McCurdy. Here's traffic and weather.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, Gordon Rhodes says it's so cute the way Charity will say WOAI. I can't say it like she says it. And
Nobody can.
Ben picturing Charity nailing a guitar solo.
Now, Ben, we do have guitars in this building. We can make this happen.
Yes, we should.
We will. We just need an amp. That's one thing we don't have is an amp. But I do know people.
Yeah.
I could probably find us one. Oh my God, we got a minute to kill.
Okay.
You
I'll
want
front and sell, and then we'll
vamp.
talk Zeppelin tickets.
Okay. That blows. Ah! Okay. All right. We got a winner right here.
Okay.
Nate, listen to this. Nate here on days like this, it's a good day to sit around with my wife for 20 years plus and just listen to 1200 WOAI's First News and maybe kick on a little Led Zeppelin for the rest of my day and just enjoy the rain.
Nice. Tell me when he's San Antonio's First News, Charity McCurdy, Mr. T, Tim Merriman. I'm Chris Duell, Andrew Zimmel flying the Millennium Falcon and directing the live video stream on YouTube. You can be a part of it, including the live video chat. Go to YouTube and look for 1200 WOAI. In a moment, national correspondent Rory O'Neill. Strange weather across the country, not only here in South Texas. We'll take a look at that. White House correspondent John Decker at 7:50 with the president's executive action involving undocumented spouses of American citizens. 8:10, national correspondent Aaron Real on how increasing rent is driving inflation. And then at 8:20, a deep dive into this weather with News 4 San Antonio chief meteorologist Chris Suchan. But right now, national correspondent Rory O'Neill looking at the weather across the country. And Rory, we're looking at a potential tropical storm here in Texas while much of the United States is facing extreme heat. What's going on with this weather?
Yeah, there are parts of, let's go to Caribou, Maine. Ooh. That is right on the border of Maine and Canada. And today they could set a record high of 96 degrees. Wow. That would be a record, not just, for today, but it would be an all-time record in Caribou to reach 96 degrees. And to do it in June, actually technically before summer starts, which is tomorrow. Pretty remarkable. So we're seeing a lot of heat records being set today from Iowa through Ohio, Pennsylvania, through New England. They're concerned about the heat. Now we've got wildfires going on in New Mexico and Texas. And as you mentioned, we're expecting Tropical Storm Alberto to form later today. That system, the center of it is probably headed toward Mexico, but you've got this tropical storm force winds extending about 400 miles from the center of circulation. So that puts a lot of the storm activity over Texas. So a lot of concerns about localized coastal flooding there.
And we're celebrating because the high today, Rory, is only 82. And, with the rest of the country dealing with a lot of heat, it seems like we're always hearing that phrase record breaking. Is it true? Are we seeing more heat waves?
Well, we are. And May was one of the hottest months ever recorded. So it seems to be continuing as we get into June. And these records do seem to keep on falling. And yeah, look, we've seen these temperatures before, but again, technically summer hasn't even started yet. So it does seem to all be happening a little bit early. Ironically, though, I think the activity in the tropics is a little bit slower to start. I think the past 6 years, we've had some storm form even before the June 1st official start of hurricane season. So here we are now, June 19th, and we still are waiting for our first one to be named. And look, that may start off a whole series of tropical storms. Fingers crossed that they stay out at sea. But it looks like Texas and Mexico are going to get a pretty good soaking over the next 2 or 3 days.
Now, Caribou, Maine, you mentioned right on the border with Canada. A lot of people up there and a lot of houses don't have central air conditioning like we do down here. So this is probably going to hurt them more because of that.
Yeah, and keep in mind, I grew up in New England, so we didn't have air conditioning throughout the whole house there. We had that one room that had the AC unit out the window, and that was it. So it was, and that was Dad's room with the TV. but yeah, so that was the special room in the house. But Yeah, it can be real dangerous. And keep in mind, heat is the number one weather-related killer in the U.S., not tornadoes or hurricanes. Heat is the number one killer when it comes to weather in the U.S.
And that is very, very frightening given the weather in the Northeast. Rory, are scientists looking at this, these extreme temperatures, especially in the Northeast, as climate change? I mean, is this just something we're going to have to get used to? Is there going to be more and more of this moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, this is another data point in their argument, right? They're not going to point to it and say, aha, climate change. No, they're going to say, here we go again, another period of record high temperatures. And that's what we saw in May as one of the hottest months ever recorded. And it seems to be we're on pace again. Let's obviously wait and see. But this heat dome is trapping an awful lot of hot air across the Midwest and the Northeast. And it seems to continue all the way through Friday.
Our thanks to national correspondent Rory O'Neill. As we roll forward, White House correspondent John Decker on the executive action being taken by President Biden to make it easier for spouses, undocumented spouses of American citizens, to become citizens in the United States. That and more coming up. WOAI News Time 743. Combat K9 is from Lewiston, Maine.
Oh, cool.
85 with humidity is terrible. Yeah, I would imagine. My goodness.
We got time to play one of these.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe two.
Okay.
Now let's stick with one just so we don't leave John hanging.
Yeah, we don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want to leave John hanging, no. Yeah, we can do one. Easily. Okay. Easily do one. So 32, 30, 57. We're still out 57, okay?
Okay.
That's our target. So Tab Master and Nate right now. Nate. One.
Combat says we need time for a grumpy ramble from Charlie Parker. That's what you call it. Time for the grumpy ramble by Charlie Parker.
Unfortunately, we don't have time for that today. Sorry.
Charlie is actually in the building.
And once again, let's go one and out with Aaron.
Yeah, let me let Charity know that.
All right, cool. We're rocking, we're rolling. We're rock and rolling. Man, she's all over the place today.
Yeah. He's got the half spider eyelashes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Cruz is traveling with her.
Yes, I know, because we saw him over here and we saw him over there.
Tim, if you're talking about John Decker, he is next. He's coming up at about 7:50.
Yeah. Real close to it. 70,
Yeah.
50-ish.
50-ish.
Stand by, Chris.
Just ahead of headlines, traffic, and weather together, then White House correspondent and attorney John Decker on the executive action to be taken by President Biden to provide protection for undocumented spouses of citizens. But Mr. T, we're going to give away to two of our talkback participants today tickets to see the music of Led Zeppelin with the San Antonio Philharmonic Orchestra at the Majestic Theater this weekend, and a good chance to win a cool guitar. What do we got?
Let's check in with Tabmaster.
Good morning, crew. Tabmaster here. Well, let me tell you what I like to do on a rainy day is just sit on the back porch, enjoy a cold beer, and listen to some good music. That sounds about right to me. Hey, let's just remember, as urgent as they may be, roosters are not free birds. Y'all have a great day.
Something to remember, roosters
are not
free birds, everybody. Charity McCurdy, what stories are you following?
Well, tropical storm warnings are in place along the Texas Gulf Coast as we're expecting to get some heavy rain locally. President Biden announces another immigration policy, and the markets and banks are closed for this Juneteenth, which is a federal holiday. We'll have more coming up. Right now, traffic and weather together.
Some showers this morning, steady rain this afternoon, highs in the low 80s. Tomorrow, showers early, becoming steady rain later in the day, highs in the upper 80s. Friday, cloudy with occasional showers, highs right around 90 degrees. 77 in Schertz, 77 in Alamo Ranch, and 76 here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 7:50.
San Antonio's First News, Charity McCurdy, Mr. T, Tim Merriman. I'm Chris Duell. President Biden announces he'll take executive action to give protection to about 500,000 undocumented spouses of citizens. Donald Trump thinks this is not a good plan. Let's talk about it with White House correspondent and attorney John Decker. John, how surprising was this announcement by the president?
Well, nothing really surprises me when you talk about an election year and the president taking executive actions in the waning months of a presidential campaign. So not so surprising. And this follows on the, I believe, the 12th year anniversary of the DACA action taken by former President Barack Obama, benefiting the children living in this country of illegal immigrants who obviously were in limbo. These individuals were in limbo essentially as well. As you point out, this impacts about 500,000 individuals married to American citizens here in the U.S. legally. Under the plan before the president announced it yesterday, they would have to wait it out to go through the process in their home country, separated from their spouse, separated from their children. The president describing this action he took yesterday as the humane thing to do. And certainly we're going to see a challenge to this in the federal courts, like we saw a challenge to another executive action the president took 2 weeks ago, which cuts down on asylum claims.
And John, the White House seems to be billing this as keeping families together. And you wonder whether this is a deliberate jab at Trump, who dealt with the controversy of separating families at the southern border during his presidency.
Well, it is a direct contrast with the action taken by the former president when he was president of the United States. That was the policy of the administration until it was reversed, given the pushback and that we saw coming from all quarters, from Republicans and Democrats. Look, I think that this is an action that certainly, I was in the East Room yesterday when the president announced it. Certainly the individuals that were there were talking about border town mayors. Certainly I spoke to a sheriff from Laredo, Texas. They're pleased by this action that the president took yesterday. This action necessary because legislation just simply cannot get passed of a bipartisan fashion, which would potentially just take care of this problem and provide a legislative fix. The fact that it's being done by executive order or executive action means that it potentially can be undone by the next president if the next president wishes to do that.
Now, do these undocumented spouses have to go file paperwork, go through any kind of criminal background check or anything like that?
Oh, that's a great question. These individuals have been in the United States for at least 10 years, the ones that qualify for this process. They must not have had committed any crimes whatsoever, and they must be determined to be not a danger to American national security. So it's not just anyone that would qualify for this process. It's individuals that meet that criteria.
John, you said at the outset that nothing really surprises you in an election year. As I look at the numbers here, 500,000 undocumented spouses of citizens. Theoretically, that means 500,000 citizens who could vote in the November 2024 election. Do you think the calculus here by President Joe Biden and his team is, hey, let's get as much goodwill as we can from people who would support a move like this and perhaps maybe garner more votes in the November election?
Well, let me just clarify things, and I'm sure this is what you meant. The individuals that qualify for this process who are currently not citizens of the United States would not be able to vote in the 2024 election cycle. But if you're referring to their spouses, which I'm sure you must have been, if you're referring to their spouses, it's outreach to them. Certainly, you could argue they would have maybe already supported Joe Biden as it relates to his reelection run. But I think you used the word solidifies. It solidifies certainly their support ahead of the 2024 election cycle with every vote counting. That's important. I mean, if you're talking about potentially 500,000 votes in key swing states like Arizona and Nevada, that may indeed determine who wins the presidential election in 2024.
And John, Governor Abbott has already come out and said this is not going to help the border crisis. He's not going to enforce this new measure. Is that something the governor can legally do?
No, it really isn't. I realize maybe for whatever reason, the governor may not like this, but he cannot do anything to block this process from moving forward other than if he wishes to do so, if he feels that he can demonstrate that he has standing here, he can bring a lawsuit to challenge this action, but he can't not follow through with the dictates of federal law. And this is something that, I think that maybe, unless the governor is mistaken, I think that he is under the impression that he could undo this. He can undo it by bringing a lawsuit. That's the way that the governor could take action if he wishes to express his displeasure with the president's action yesterday.
Great reporting and analysis from White House correspondent and attorney John Decker. Charity McCurdy has all the stories you need to know on this Wednesday morning at the top of the hour. Then at 8:10, national correspondent Aaron Real on how increasing rents are driving inflation. And then at 8:20, we take a deep dive into the weather with News 4 San Antonio chief meteorologist Chris Suchan. WOAI News Time 7:57. Yeah, Ben, we agree. John Decker is just brilliant, a superstar, best there is, the GOAT. Yeah,
he is the GOAT. That's for sure. He is the GOAT.
We do agree. Yeah, I thought I made it clear I was talking about the
I
spouses.
I knew what you
thought I
said.
said
I knew
that.
what you said. I heard you.
Well,
I was
Bruce-
sitting right here, so I
Bruce,
heard you.
you're kind of a dope asking that question.
That's kind of not
I
what
didn't
you said.
expect that kind of ignorance from you. However, if you were meaning to say,
Oh, God, help us all.
oh, Brooklyn Chandler Willie.
Mm-hmm. Don't say it.
No, no, no.
Don't.
No,
No, sir.
no.
No, sir. Not going to do it. All right, Charlie McCurdy with the news coming up in about 1 minute and 20
That's right, everybody.
seconds.
Come
That's
for
right.
the chopped liver, stay for the eye candy.
Notice how we said that in unison.
That's right. We're kind of like the Beach Boys with our harmonies.
Yeah, we're nothing like the Beach
chopped
Boys.
liver. We're going to release Pet Sounds 2.0. Looking forward to that.
We're just going to call it Sounds.
Yeah.
Oh, Celtics coach is going to Jerusalem instead of Disneyland.
Wow.
Gotta love it. You know, that's amazing. His second year as a head coach. First year was interim.
Yeah, Ime Udoka, you shouldn't have been,
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
having a little something with a staffer. That could have been
Something
your
on the
title.
side.
Ime.
All right, guys. 30 seconds, a little over 35 seconds till Charity joins us. She's going to give you all the eye candy you need on this.
That's right.
On this Juneteenth.
Enjoy yourselves.
Enjoy, everybody.
Eight o'clock is our time. San Antonio's first news. Good Wednesday morning. I'm Charity McCurdy. Among our top stories, heavy rainfall is expected as a result of a potential tropical storm Alberto. President Biden unveils a new immigration policy, and Baseball Hall of Famer Willie Mays has died. More coming up. First, traffic and weather together every 10 minutes in mornings. Your Weather Channel forecast for this Wednesday. Showers this morning becoming steady throughout the day with at least an inch of rain expected, a high of only 82. Another half an inch of rainfall tonight, a low of 75. Get a move on. It is 77 degrees. We continue to monitor breaking news as the potential tropical cyclone one that will become Alberto is skirting the shore and creating a lot of unstable weather for much of South Texas.
It is very large in size, and so we're going to be seeing those impacts along much of the Texas coast here over the next couple of days.
The National Weather Service's Corey Modis says, along with flash flood and storm surge warnings already posted, there's concerns about severe weather from this event today and tomorrow.
We have flash flooding threat, river flooding, coastal flooding, high rip currents. We also have a chance for a few isolated tornadoes potentially.
Several inches of rain is expected for the southern third of Texas as tropical storm warnings are up from Galveston to the Rio Grande. Eric Lycum, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
And the highest rainfall potential is south of us, but at least 2 inches of rain is possible around San Antonio. President Biden is clearing the way for tens of thousands of undocumented immigrants married to U.S. citizens to stay in the country. Fox's Jared Halpern has more on Decision 2024.
The president says it is a false choice to either have a secure border or pathways to citizenship for undocumented immigrants.
Folks, I'm not interested in playing politics with the border or immigration. I'm interested in fixing it.
A new executive order will shield undocumented immigrants who have lived in the U.S. for at least 10 years and are married to a U.S. citizen protection from deportation while applying for legal status. It comes 2 weeks after President Biden signed an order restricting asylum claims when border crossings hit certain thresholds. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
And speaking to Fox's Hannity, Governor Abbott believes this will only make things worse.
What that shows to the entire world is come to the border as quickly as you can because it's possible that you too may be able to get amnesty. So this is nothing more than a magnet that will actually increase illegal immigration.
Meantime, former President Trump touched on the issue while campaigning in Wisconsin yesterday.
Joe Biden wants to be the president for illegal aliens, but I will be the president for law-abiding Americans, every background, every walk of life, every race, religion, color, and creed. I'll be the president.
Immigration remains one of the top voter issues ahead of the November election. Well, Russia and North Korea have promised to help each other if attacked. Here's Fox's Jonathan Savage.
The centerpiece moment of Russian President Vladimir Putin's trip to North Korea is one that cements his partnership with Kim Jong-un. The two leaders have signed a deal vowing to come to each other's aid in the face of aggression. We're told the agreement is defensive and peaceful in nature, but it raises questions about how far each country will go. Will North Korea get more involved in the war in Ukraine? Will Russia help Pyongyang overcome international sanctions? Ahead of the announcement, a suspicious South Korea had sent Russia a message: don't get too cozy with the North. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
A woman is dead after being shot in the front yard of her West Side home on South Woodlawn Lake. Police Chief William McManus says a 15-year-old believed to be her son may have been responsible.
A juvenile family member shot the woman in the back. Weapon used was a shotgun. The suspect is in custody.
Police were also questioning another person in the case as they tried to determine what happened. Legendary baseball player and Hall of Famer Willie Mays has died. The San Francisco Giants revealed he died peacefully yesterday afternoon at the age of 93. The Say Hey Kid was known for his multi-decade career in Major League Baseball, where he won a World Series title with the Giants in 1954, making the famous over-the-shoulder catch in Game 1, famously referred to as the catch.
There's a long drive way back in center field, way back, it is gone! Just on this ground to his feet with a catch.
Mays finished his career as a two-time National League MVP, a 24-time All-Star, and was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1979. Well, today is Juneteenth, the newest of the federal holidays.
Juneteenth, which was made a federal holiday in 2021, marks the day in 1865 that slaves in Texas were given the news that they were freed by President Abraham Lincoln. That day was more than 2 years after President Lincoln had signed the Emancipation Proclamation on January 1st, 1863. The emancipation had not been enforced in Texas, and it took an appearance by Union Major General Gordon Granger in Galveston on this day in 1865 to announce, in General Order Number 3, the, quote, absolute equality of personal rights and rights of property. Texas became the first state to make Juneteenth a state holiday in 1980, decades before it was made a federal one. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
It is 8:06, news at the top and bottom of every hour, along with breaking news as it happens. I'm Charity McCurdy. Traffic and weather coming up.
San Antonio's First News. Charity McCurdy is back. That's Mr. T, Tim Merriman. I'm Chris Duell. Big 8 o'clock hour coming at you at 8:20. News 4 San Antonio Chief Meteorologist Chris Suchan will give us a comprehensive look at this weather, what's happening in the Gulf, and whether or not that a tropical storm Alberto will form and what it means for us. But coming right up, national correspondent Aaron Real on how increasing rent is driving inflation. But first, let's get you caught up on traffic and weather together.
Showers this morning, steady rain this afternoon, highs in low 80s. Tomorrow, showers early, steady rain later in the day, highs in the upper 80s. And then on Friday, cloudy with occasional showers, highs right around 90 degrees. 75 in New Braunfels, 77 at Monte Vista, and 76 here in Stone Oak. WOEI News Time 8:10.
San Antonio's First News. We are streaming live video on YouTube. Go to YouTube and look for 1200 WOAI. You can be a part of the live chat with us and others in real time. Well, let's check in with national correspondent Aaron Real. Aaron, we know housing prices are soaring, but increasing rent having an impact on inflation. How is that happening?
So this is an interesting one because regionality matters so much. The Sun Belt has a big pull on this. So nationwide, we're going to see about a 2% rate increase in terms of rents. But if you look at Phoenix, if you look at Austin, if you look at Nashville, they have super high supply. So it's expected to continue to weigh on the rents and bring them down for new leases. That's declining on average. But then if you look to Kansas City or Washington, D.C., a lot of Northeast, Midwest cities, they're rising this year. So what does this do for inflation? Essentially, it creates this challenge for the Fed in terms of easing interest rates, because Labor Department data showed that we had a much cooler than expected month last month. But the prospect that apartment owners are going to raise rents, that's going to offset lower prices in other areas. This could push back any rate decrease.
Aaron, is this just plain old rent gouging? How are landlords justifying this, and do they have to?
So listen, Newmark is forecasting this 2% nationwide increase. That is well below the double-digit rates of the pandemic years. And we have a housing crisis. More people are stuck renting than they ever were before. If you look at like the big residential rental properties like Avalon Bay communities, they say only 7% of residents in these properties are leaving to purchase homes. If you look at the average over the long term, that's usually closer to 17% leaving to buy homes. So 10% less than it normally was. We have incredibly high prices. Mortgage rates are around 7% for the 30-year fix. People are staying put in rentals longer. But there was such an incredible oversupply in the Sun Belt, again, Phoenix, Nashville, Austin, that now in those particular cities, rents are coming down. We need that. We have a housing shortage here in the U.S. It's just not spread out as well as we like to see it.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned that there's a oversupply in Austin of apartments, and I know San Antonio, we've seen a lot of apartment buildings being built around here, and I guess that's because people can't afford to buy a house, but doesn't that mean that if you have too many apartments, that all the prices will come down, correct? Isn't that what you said?
Theoretically, yes. That's what we will see, because you're going to have people who have like the option, okay, well, maybe I rent, maybe I sell. If the prices are, it always comes down to price, and people are looking for the best value. And if they can find the best value in a brand new rental at a lower price, they're going to take it.
Our thanks to national correspondent Aaron Real. As we roll forward, we'll take a deep dive into the weather situation. Should be very, very wet by midday and moving into the night. We'll talk about it all with News 4 San Antonio Chief Meteorologist Chris Suchan. That's coming up. WOAI News Time is 8:14.
And we're back.
Woohoo! Well, look at those dreamy eyes.
I know.
Justin Timberlake's mugshot.
You know,
Nick Nolte has nothing to worry about.
Not
He is
at or
still
James
the
Brown
champion.
either. Or James Brown either. I mean, that guy looks better in his mugshot than I do in a family portrait.
He should sell T-shirts
I
at
know.
his Chicago concert.
You should.
Free JT. Free JT with the mugshot.
James Taylor got arrested?
So wrong.
Well, every time I hear somebody say JT, man, I'm
Me
thinking,
too, man.
I'm thinking James Taylor, man. We're back. Oh. So much for Wacky Wednesdays, huh?
Yeah. Now, next week we won't do it, and she will.
I think we should do it anyway.
Yeah.
We'll just do it anyway.
Yeah.
We'll have our own silent Wacky Wednesday.
Yeah.
And on Throwback Thursday, which is tomorrow, I was thinking about wearing, I have a 96 Rock shirt that when I worked at KZEP, some dude wore it to one of our party on the patios, and I traded him a KZEP shirt for that shirt. And it's, I mean, I hardly ever wear it, so it's in great shape.
Yeah.
It's the one where they got that guy Hobbs, Calvin and Hobbs, spray painting "Kiss Sucks" on a wall on the back of it.
Yep.
And so I got that one.
I might have to wear my San Antonio Wings shirt. And somewhere I got that San Antonio Toros shirt.
Wow.
So
that's
Throwback Thursday.
That's throwback. I could wear my Tommy shirt from the Tommy show at the Majestic that I think I've worn one time.
Very nice.
I also have a Joe Anthony anniversary remembrance shirt that they did a concert down at someplace downtown. I went to that, got a T-shirt. So I could do that.
Cool.
We'll have to think about that.
Yes.
Then again, I might forget. Just come to work tomorrow and whatever. It does happen.
Take a look at Chris Suchan's Twitter. He's usually very active on Twitter. No, not since last night.
Well, he was probably up late last night.
Yeah.
I just got to throw it to her and give us more time with him? Or
Yeah,
what
that
do you
makes
want to do?
sense.
Convention coming up, we're going to give away tickets. Ow. Oh, God. This thing is dragged by today.
Texans, if you have IRS issues, you need a local attorney. You need me, Lance Drury.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisement.
iHeartRadio is the exclusive audio home of NBC's coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympics. It's the only way to listen to exclusive NBC play-by-play action of Team USA.
Chris Luchan is ready.
Wow. Just ahead of headlines, traffic, and weather together. Then News 4 San Antonio Chief Meteorologist Chris Suchan with a comprehensive look at our weather. But first, Charity McCurdy, what stories are you following?
Well, South Texas is bracing for possible flooding as a potential tropical storm brews in the Gulf of Mexico. A teen is under arrest for killing his mother with a shotgun in their West Side home. And baseball is mourning the loss of legend Willie Mays. We'll have more coming up. Right now, traffic and weather together.
Some showers this morning, steady rain this afternoon, highs in the low 80s. 76 degrees here in Stone Oak. WOEI News Time 8:19.
San Antonio's first news, that is Mr. T, Tim Merriman. She's Charity McCurdy. I'm Chris Duell. The big story today and moving into the night and tomorrow is the weather with that potential tropical cyclone in the Gulf headed to Mexico. Could be turning into Tropical Storm Alberto. Let's talk about it with News 4 San Antonio Chief Meteorologist Chris Suchan. Chris, welcome back. What can we expect this afternoon and overnight in our area?
Well, good morning, guys. Great to be with you here this morning. For us, it's just going to be an old-fashioned rainy day once it sets in here. I really am not seeing any kind of big problems from it in our area. In fact, the Weather Service, they discontinued the flood watch in around Bexar County and Medina County. It's down to it's our southern half of our area is still in the flood watch. But, the biggest impacts are going to be the typical wet roadways, a few areas of a little bit of ponding, especially around poor drainage areas or those construction zones. So the motorists will have the biggest impact, but we're not going to be dealing with big flash flooding concerns, anything of that nature that you can often get when it comes to a tropical system.
So, Chris, we're not talking blinding rain from this tropical disturbance that we can just expect on and off rain showers through Friday?
Well, Charity, what it looks like, it's going to be a light to moderate rain that builds in later this morning. We have a couple patches in Wilson County right now, but the bulk of that rain is near Lavaca County to the Houston area, and it's steadily moving west. So it looks like late morning to about 1 in the afternoon, it overspreads the I-35 corridor. There could be a couple pockets through the remainder of the day where it gets a little heavy. I mean, it is a tropical system. The atmosphere is loaded with water, and so can't rule out a couple of those. And it lasts through this evening into the overnight, and it becomes more scattered. And it's all pushing then eventually towards the Rio Grande, where they're going to get a nice soaking rain. And then tomorrow, with a little bit of heating, we're going to cook up these little scattered showers, a couple thunderstorms, and they could have high rainfall rates. So there's a little bit more to fall in parts of the area tomorrow, a quick quarter, half inch in spots, or a little bit more tomorrow if a downpour hits you. And then maybe even a little bit more on Friday. So I think generally speaking, we've been lowering the amounts. It's been just sort of trending down, but got to be thinking about 3/4 of an inch of rain to maybe an inch. If we really do well, we get close to 1.5 inches. But some parts of Bexar County could come in just under by Friday, just under an inch of rain. I mean, it's still a nice, welcome rain. Turn the irrigation systems off and let Mother Nature handle your watering needs. Help out the aquifer, but we would really, unfortunately, would have loved to have seen this about 3 to 5 times higher to really have a huge impact on us.
Now, Chris, you mentioned Wilson County. That's where I live. So I'm looking at a little bit more rain than people in Bexar County.
Yeah, I think down there you're easily looking at closer to 2 inches of rain, and then there could be a few spots, Wilson, especially Atascosa, McMullen, LaSalle, where all is said and done, there's 3 to a little over 4 inches of rain in spots. So parts of our area definitely getting into a pretty good soaking. And I think for every county you go further south, you would see and then the flooding risks increase. Corpus Christi, good 4, 6, 7 inches of rain. Down to Brownsville could be 5 to 10 inches of rain down there. So a tremendous soaking for South Texas. We're just on the northern end of it, and we're going to escape the widespread flooding issues and just get a nice rain and gusts today. Later today, you'll see the gusts hit 30, occasionally 35 or so miles per hour.
We're talking with News 4 San Antonio Chief Meteorologist Chris Suchan. Chris, we have not only this, what they're calling potential tropical cyclone 1, which could turn into tropical storm Alberto, but we're also hearing that there is a second disturbance in the same vicinity in the Western Gulf. Is there any chance that these two disturbances, play off of each other and maybe create even more rain that could extend further into the weekend?
Well, I am looking at that trend. That's an interesting part of the forecast. This system will be long gone before that next one develops, and it's just this little gyre that develops in Central America and Mexico. It becomes like a little hatchery for these tropical systems. And it does look to me like another one will form. It'll be very weak. And it's going to kind of cover that same area as I see with the trends. And I think there is some potential that later in the weekend or early next week, if it can move far enough north, that we'll get back into at least a a good scattered rain chance versus the very isolated slim chance. So unless it trends further north, I don't have widespread rain in mind unless you're down in deep South Texas again. But right now, I would say our best case scenario based on the latest model guides I've been looking at is that we would at least bump into a 30-40% rain chance late weekend and early next week. And, any rain is welcome. I mean, to be sure, and, if we could just keep this momentum going. And then, of course, keep in mind, too, we're keeping the temperatures down. So today's going to be an absolute bargain compared to what we have seen. And I think for the next, week to 2 weeks, thoughts of ever flirting with 100 degrees are going to be really knocked back with this overall pattern. It's going to be up in North Texas, Oklahoma, where they'll experience, triple-digit heat.
That is a bonus. Our temperatures are a little bit cooler right now. Our thanks to News 4 San Antonio Chief Meteorologist Chris Suchan. As we roll forward, we'll get a preview of the Joe Pags Show. Joe Pags will join us at 8:40, and then we'll hear from you, your talkbacks, music of Led Zeppelin at the Majestic Theater with the San Antonio Philharmonic, and somebody getting a shot to win a brand new sparkling killer guitar. That and more coming up. WOAI News Time, 8:26.
Okay.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, everybody. We're back.
Woo!
You got your intro for Joe, right?
Yes.
It's all about the baby mama.
The baby mama. Lots of reaction to Hunter Biden's baby mama yesterday on the show.
Baby mama. Just sounds fun to say, baby mama. All right, so.
Oh, nice, Combat. Motorists will have the greatest impact. Well played, sir. You caught that. Good. I even wrote that down, too.
It's pretty funny.
Funny that you cited that. When he said that, I wrote down, motorists will have the greatest impact. Woo! See, Combat, great minds think alike.
Yes. Got an email from Danny Morrison that says that these meteorologists drive him crazy. We're forecasted at 5 inches of rain. Now we're just going to get a few showers.
Yeah.
I miss Judd Ashmore.
Yes.
That's what it said. I had to laugh.
Judd Ashmore. Turned 100 years old not long ago.
Dude, that man was amazing.
Yeah.
Is amazing, I should say. He's not dead.
And a very good guy.
Yes.
We
super
worked
nice
with
guy.
him. He was fun to work with.
I told you a story about when he was going to the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
He was going to take walk down to the Grand
He did
Canyon.
the mule ride.
Yeah. He was
Yeah.
going to do that. And he comes into the building, and he's walking around the sales area, and he's got a paper bag with him. And I finally asked him, he's walking around looking for salespeople. I said, well, what are you doing, Judd? And he goes, I'm going to the Grand Canyon. I want to buy a Jeep, and I'm trying to find a salesperson who has a deal with a Jeep. I said, you want to get a good deal? Or is he trying to, get a good financing rate? And he goes, no, I'm going to buy it. That bag was full of cash.
Wow.
He was going to go buy a Jeep to go to the Grand Canyon.
He is the reason, because he was talking about it on the radio with us, when he did the mule ride to the bottom of the Grand Canyon. I said, I got to do that. So my wife and I did it just a few months. Loved it, because you go down. Yeah. My wife didn't like it as much as I did.
Well,
because you're right.
Yeah, you're on the edge. Yes.
The mules are very steady, sure-footed. Like one of them has fallen off in the last 100 years.
Oh my God.
You're safe. You're safe.
Except for that one person.
I'd like lean it. But you go down, and at the bottom of the canyon, you spend the night. It's called Phantom Ranch.
Yeah.
And it's a ranch hotel with a restaurant. And apparently back in the days, Clark Gable and all the Hollywood stars used to come to Phantom Ranch.
Wow.
It's got a lot of history. And then you wake up the next morning, you have breakfast, and you mule ride back up. And for whatever the reason, I think they got some shortcuts. The ride back up is quicker than the ride down. So I think the ride down, you circle circles.
They take a different route.
I think they've got a different route with a shortcut to get you back.
See, you know how I know about this is because I watched the Brady Bunch when they did that.
Wow.
And they went down there, and they actually, Bobby and Cindy ended up making friends with these little Indian kids that were down. I'm sorry, Native American kids that were down there. And it turned into, it was actually a very entertaining episode.
Very nice.
And it was one of those two-parters, come on.
I highly recommend it. It's one of the coolest
Brady
things.
Bunch or the
mule ride down the Grand Canyon to the bottom, spend the night at the Phantom Ranch. When you get down to the bottom of the Grand Canyon, it is so cool.
See, I am still into I want to jump it on a motorcycle or a rocket.
That would be nice.
Like Evel Knievel tried.
Oh, I saw a thing. The 100th in September, the set 1974, 50th anniversary. Snake River Canyon.
That's when it was.
They're having an
50 years ago.
Evel Knievel event at
hell
Snake River Canyon. to honor the 50th
Now
anniversary
we're
of
talking.
his jump. Yes.
Now we're talking. I don't know who she is, but we need to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I ended up on Instagram. I follow the official Evil Knievel thing.
Yeah.
And they've got these cool long sleeve white shirts with the look like his
Yeah,
jumpsuit.
with his
look like his
stars and
jumpsuit.
blue
yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah, and I got to get one, man.
That's very, very
I got to
cool.
find them, man. Yeah, because I was a big Evil Knievel guy, man.
Yeah, we got to remember that date. It's in
Yes.
September.
I'll
And
look it up.
tomorrow, the first day of summer,
Yeah, it's gonna
3:50
be-
p.m. tomorrow.
It's going to be 88 degrees.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, so much for my prediction of 70, 100 degree days.
No. We're just in June, man. Come on. July, August, September still.
I would need like all
And
60.
remember, when it does get hot, to hydrate after 11 a.m. till approximately November.
Yes.
Because you want to watch that heat.
Yes. Charity McCurdy is coming up at the bottom of the hour.
It's eye candy, everybody.
In fact, your last, well, actually, she'll join us in the segments, but it's your last concentrated
Eye candy,
opportunity
yes.
for eye candy.
Exactly.
Enough of this chopped liver. And CFR.
CFR, man. We are CFR.
He hasn't left us
Not in a
messages
while,
lately,
man.
Justin.
He may have had to go back in the hospital again.
Yeah.
He may have gotten caught. All right, everybody. Here comes Charity McCurdy. Have a great day.
.31 is our time. San Antonio's first news. Good Wednesday morning. I'm Charity McCurdy. Among our top stories, potential tropical storm Alberto is expected to soak South Texas. President Biden announces a new immigration policy, and the Russia-North Korea alliance deepens. Details ahead. First, traffic and weather together every 10 minutes in mornings. Your Weather Channel forecast for this Wednesday. Showers this morning becoming steady throughout the day. A high of only 82. Another half an inch of rainfall tonight. A low around 75. Right now, 77 degrees. Well, southern Texas is bracing for a lot of rain from what's expected to be a tropical storm. Here's Fox's Evan Brown.
The South Texas coastline from the Rio Grande to near Galveston remains under a tropical storm warning as a potential cyclone approaches Mexico. It is expected to bring considerable rainfall to Texas, as much as 15 inches in some spots, and risks of flash flooding and storm surge abound. Surge will even be present as far away as Louisiana. The storm's field is quite large, with gale force winds extending more than 400 miles to the north of the center. The forecasters believe this will qualify as the year's first Atlantic tropical cyclone later today or early tomorrow. Eben Brown, Fox News.
And locally, we could see at least an inch of rainfall, with heavy rainfall expected to pick up this afternoon and continue tonight. Well, tens of thousands of people in Texas could be affected by the president's immigration plan released this week.
The plan is to protect those who are married to an American and have lived in the country for more than 1 decade. Lance Curtright, who is an immigration attorney in San Antonio, says that documentation is a big deal.
To work and to be here without fear, it's to fully recognize your humanity.
He pushed back against claims that this plan is blanket amnesty. There are tight guardrails, he says, when it comes to who qualifies. In Texas, over 3 million people live in a home with someone who is undocumented. Michael Board, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
Meantime, Governor Abbott told Fox's Hannity Texas will not be following the president's policy.
What Biden did today is illegal, unconstitutional. Texas is going to take legal action and put a stop to it.
Senior administration officials say it can affect upwards of 500,000 migrants. Well, Russia and North Korea have promised to help each other if attacked.
The centerpiece moment of Russian President Vladimir Putin's trip to North Korea is one that cements his partnership with Kim Jong-un. The two leaders have signed a deal vowing to come to each other's aid in the face of aggression. We're told the agreement is defensive and peaceful in nature, but it raises questions about how far each country will go. Will North Korea get more involved in the war in Ukraine? Will Russia help Pyongyang overcome international sanctions? Ahead of the announcement, a suspicious South Korea had sent Russia a message: don't get too cozy with the North. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
Well, the Bexar County Sheriff's Office is taking action to prevent jail overcrowding by sending inmates to other counties. Deputy Chief explained to Commissioner's Court yesterday that 150 inmates were transferred last week and another 148 are standing by. The Sheriff's Office made the move to keep the jail from exceeding capacity, which would violate state compliance. 30 inmates went to Kerr County. The other 120 went to Burnett County. Bexar County is paying the other counties to accept the transfers. The Texas Ethics Commission is changing the rules for political advertising.
Texans who spread propaganda on social media must now say if they got paid to post it. The change was made this week to keep up with the rise in political advertising on social media. But UTSA professor John Taylor says the devil is in the details.
You really, I think, are going to have to explain exactly what is and what is not covered by this.
During the impeachment trial of the Texas Attorney General, influencers were being quietly paid $50 a post to defend Ken Paxton. Much of that came from a company called Influenceable, run by former Trump aide Brad Parscale. I'm Rex Oates, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
San Antonio is the future home of a passport agency. The U.S. State Department announced that new agencies are planned for 6 cities nationwide. The San Antonio location will mean people who need passport or visa services won't have to drive to Houston or Dallas. The State Department says the 6 new facilities will grow the agency's network to 35. Well, the pastor of a Texas megachurch has resigned after admitting he sexually abused a young girl decades ago.
Robert Morris, founder of Gateway Church near Dallas, submitted his resignation to the church's board of elders. Last week, a religion blog reported a woman's allegation that Morris abused her when she was 12. Morris, in a statement, admitted to inappropriate sexual behavior when he was in his 20s. He said the contact was not intercourse, but in his words, it was wrong. The board of elders said Morris has discussed having an extramarital relationship, but never said it was abuse of a 12-year-old child. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
It is 8:37. News at the top and bottom of every hour, along with breaking news as it happens. I'm Charity McCurdy. Here's traffic and weather.
Alien Reptiles of Texas. Thanks, man. First time viewer. Very cool. Thanks for joining us.
Alien Reptiles of Texas?
Yeah, you don't see
Man,
that,
no, you don't.
that name often.
I wonder if he's been to the snake farm.
I've never been to the snake farm.
I went one time.
I've never been to Graceland, and I've
been
never
to
been to the
Graceland,
snake
too.
farm.
You have to go to both.
I do. I do.
Actually, the best part about Graceland is across the street where they have his airplanes, cars, and all that stuff.
Cool.
I mean, the Graceland thing is cool, but they don't let you go through the whole house, which I kept asking, why can't
I
we go?
can't sit on the toilet where
No, why
Elvis
can't
died?
we go upstairs?
Yeah.
Like, what's up there? Is that where, is he living up there? And that's not funny. Well, why can't we go up there? I paid a lot of money to come in and see this house. I want to see it all. You do get to go in the jungle room, though, which is very gaudy.
Gotta love
But
the
cool.
jungle room.
But very cool.
I want to go in August when it's Elvis weekend vigil night. A couple of years ago, I watched it on they had a live stream.
Yeah.
Everybody's holding candles.
It looks cool.
And singing Elvis
No, it looks
songs.
cool.
It's very cool.
It looks cool.
That's when I want to go.
And I guarantee you, if you go to Graceland, there will be somebody on your tour with the glasses with the sideburns on. Which cracks me up. All right, stand by. Bidenomics.
San Antonio's first news, Charity McCurdy, Mr. T, Tim Merriman. I'm Chris Duell, Andrew Zimmel, flying the Millennium Falcon and directing the live video stream on YouTube. In a moment, we're going to pick 2 winners from our talkbacks. Going to go see the music of Led Zeppelin at the Majestic Theater by the San Antonio Philharmonic Orchestra and maybe win a cool guitar. But first, let's check in with Joe Pags of the Joe Pags Show. Joe, lots of reaction to Hunter Biden's baby mama on your show yesterday. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Chris. Yeah, a lot of people still reacting to London Roberts, the baby mama, for lack of a better term, of Hunter Biden's child, Navy. So you can go check that out on the podcast for sure. Today, a big program coming your way. We'll go to Israel to talk to Ruthie Bloom about what's going on in the Israeli government. Will there be a big change soon? She'll update you on that. Plus, U.S. Representative Matt Gaetz is going to react to a lot of these hearings that we're seeing on Capitol Hill. And is there a new investigation into him and the original Papa John, John Schnatter, and more on the Joe Pags Show? That's today at 5 o'clock. Big program coming your way on News Radio 1200 WOAI. Have a great morning.
Yeah, Papa John. I've always loved his pizza. That's a great show. Joe Pags, 5 o'clock this afternoon and every weekday till 8 o'clock right here on 1200 WOAI. All right, Mr. T and Charity, we have all morning long asked our listeners to sound off on a couple of things, including the state of the Spurs 1 week out from the NBA draft. And it's going to be rainy all day today, starting around midday. What are some good rainy day activities? And we got to pick 2 winners.
Yeah, we do. So here is Danny.
Good morning, Charity, Tim, and Chris. This is Danny from Pipe Creek. I'm just calling about the Spurs. I'm really excited about the prospects of the draft and what the Spurs can do and the amount of money and capital that they have to get things done. I think everybody agrees we need a point guard, but in Pop and RC and the Spurs we trust, and we'll see what happens. Praying for rain here in Pipe Creek.
There you go.
I like it.
Yeah.
Any trust in Pop and RC Buford?
Yep.
I like it, Danny. Danny, you're in the running. What else we got?
We got Nate. Here is Nate.
Nate here. And on days like this, it's a good day to sit around with my wife of 20 plus years and just listen to WOAI 1200 First News Radio, and then maybe kick on a little Led Zeppelin for the rest of the day and just enjoy the rain.
That's a good one.
Wow.
I like that.
We may have to send that guy to some Led Zeppelin music.
There you go.
Uh-huh.
All right. And here is Cal.
Cal.
Hey guys, just to let you know, Texas A&M University is in the World Series tonight, so I think that'd be a great thing to do tonight. Thank you.
Okay, that's a good
I
one.
like that.
Gives us something
I'll
to do.
tune in.
All right, here is Tab Master.
Good morning, crew. Tab Master here. Well, let me tell you what I like to do on a rainy day is just sit on the back porch, enjoy a cold beer, and listen to some good music. That sounds about right to me. Hey, let's just remember, as urgent as they may be, roosters are not free birds. Y'all have a great day.
Tab Master has issues with roosters for some reason.
All right.
That's a theme.
So I have it narrowed down to Danny, Nate, and Tab.
Danny, okay, now Danny talked about the Spurs. He's in Pipe Creek.
Yes.
Nate mentioned listening to OAI
Yes.
and Led Zeppelin music. Cal, A&M, and Tab Master, Roosters, beer, and music.
Yes.
Charity, any 2 that jump out at you?
I feel like Nate really identifies with what I would do on a rainy day. Take it in with your wife and listen to your favorite morning show and listen to some Led Zeppelin.
I like it.
I think we can all agree on Nate. You want to make Nate a winner?
I like Nate. Nate is a good.
Okay,
That's
Nate's
one
a
winner.
That leaves Danny, Cal, and Tab Master.
Charity.
Danny from Pipe Creek talked a little Spurs. Cal says watch the A&M, Texas A&M in the World Series of baseball tonight. Tab Master, beer, music, and he's got issues with roosters.
My vote goes to Danny from Pipe Creek.
I will second that.
I will third that.
So unanimous. Danny and Pipe Creek and Nate, you have won a pair of tickets to see the music of Led Zeppelin with the San Antonio Philharmonic Orchestra this Saturday at the Majestic Theater. And they're both in the running, Chris, for that Michael Kelly guitar that we'll draw for on Friday.
And that's a 1 out of 5 shot.
Yes, it is.
Because we're going to give away 3 more tomorrow and the next day. So that's a beautiful thing.
Congratulations.
Way to go. We'll have our Andrew get a hold of both of you and let you know what you need to do.
Very nice. And Charity, I keep looking at the Justin Timberlake mugshot. And even though I'm not a huge, he does have dreamy eyes. I can see why ladies, very dreamy eyes in that mugshot.
Yeah, don't put me in that grouping. I've never found him personally that attractive. I don't quite understand the appeal. He's not, unattractive, but I wouldn't rank him in the top 5,
He's
10.
got dreamy eyes.
He is.
That's the effect of alcohol.
McDreamy. Almost, what was that TV show that had McDreamy on it?
Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
I think he would
never
rival
seen it, yeah.
McDreamy with that mugshot. Is there a mugshot of McDreamy from Grey's Anatomy? We'll have to look that up.
I don't know. Charity, has he ever been arrested?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Well, the day is young. So we'll get you caught up on headlines, traffic, and weather coming up. WOAI News Time, 8:45.
Yeah, we're back.
All righty. Woo! Beer, bait, and ammo.
Oh,
for
nice.
Deep fake videos are 98% pornographic, apparently.
Yeah.
According to Ted Cruz.
Yeah.
Ted Cruz, it's one of Ted's more funding for law enforcement to prosecute predators is an important part of the solution. And the Take It Down Act doesn't fix that. Okay. Yeah, that's got to suck if you're like a teenage girl or any woman.
Yep.
And some freak dude stalks you or is obsessed with you or breaks up with you and then puts out deep fake videos.
Yeah, that does suck.
Not good.
Up.
Thank you, Kemper. There's an avocado issue. U.S. suspends avocado inspections.
Yeah, that's not good news for avocado lovers.
And I love avocados, man. Come on. What's going on, America? America. It's the war on avocados.
It's a good war.
Yeah.
It's a war I can support. Weather to wrap it up?
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Avocados from Mexico. Tommy Miller, we'll see you tomorrow.
Oh. Mm.
Are you recording with him?
Yes.
Then I guess you're coming. We haven't done the promo.
No, I guess I got to come back over here. I got to get him. I got to get him in there at 9 o'clock and not, hey, I'll go smoke. No, now.
Yeah.
Or you do it with him.
Yeah.
Because I ain't playing this game no more.
Thanks, everybody, for watching the live video stream this morning. We enjoy your hanging out with us. Now, why was Kemper not in the mix for the? Because she won Manilow tickets?
No.
When you had Nate, Danny, Cal, and Tabmaster?
I was just trying to find somebody new.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So nothing personal, Kemper.
No, I liked hers a lot.
If Kemper was in the mix, she'd have probably won.
Oh, God.
We
Yes.
like Kemper.
That's why I didn't put her in the mix, because she would have won. She's a ringer.
Blame Mr. T.
Oh,
Kemper.
sure. Blame me. I'm okay. I'm all right with
Blame
that.
Mr. T. Blame it on the rain.
Lorraine?
Wasn't that a Milli Vanilli,
yeah.
Milli Vanilli
But
song?
I
Blame it
thought
on
you
the
said
rain.
Lorraine. And so why are we blaming Lorraine?
No,
She didn't
blame it
do
on
anything.
the rain.
Oh, Lorraine. Okay. Yes, they didn't really sing it though, Chris. I don't know if you know this or not.
I hear that. There was
They were
something-
lip syncing.
Something going on with Milli Vanilli.
That and there's something going on in Camp Lejeune, too. We're going to get down to the bottom of both of these.
Yes. In fact, I think Milli Vanilli was at Camp Lejeune.
That explains
contaminating
a
the
lot.
water.
Explains a lot.
That's why they couldn't sing, because they, they drank
exactly.
that Camp Lejeune water, so they had to lip sync.
All right, stand by.
Okay. Just ahead of headlines, traffic, and weather together as we brace for the rain that is coming to the San Antonio area. If you're on the Texas coast, you're already getting hit. But first, Charity McCurdy, what stories are you following?
South Texas is bracing for possible flooding as a potential tropical storm brews in the Gulf of Mexico. Governor Abbott is slamming President Biden's newly announced immigration policy, and Russia and North Korea have signed a partnership deal, which includes military and defense collaboration. We'll have more coming up. Right now, traffic and weather together.
Showers this morning, steady rain this afternoon, highs and low 80s. Tomorrow, showers early, then becoming a steady rain later in the day, highs in the upper 80s. Friday, cloudy with occasional showers, highs right around 90 degrees. 77 in Kirby, 77 in Alamo Ranch, and 76 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time 8:51.
San Antonio's first news, our thanks to Andrew Zimmel, wearing the retro Spurs Fiesta Colors logo baseball cap and flying the Millennium Falcon and directing the YouTube stream all morning long. Look for us, 1200 WOAI on YouTube. We've been talking about it all morning. Charity, weather will be the story. We connected just a few minutes ago with News 4 San Antonio Chief Meteorologist Chris Suchan. And he says, what we're going to get in the San Antonio area is just a lot of rain. And thank goodness, none of that, hopefully no flooding and none of that, driving sheets of rain. He said motorists will get the biggest impact.
Yeah, and that's going to be for the afternoon commute, especially because the rain chances really ramp up around noon and, around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, when a lot of people are on the roadways. We're looking at like 90 to 92% chance of rain. And that's going to continue. That maintains those rain chances pretty much into the overnight hours, and then it'll become more scattered showers and storms into the early morning on Thursday. But localized flooding is a concern. I mean, all those flood-prone areas, the lower levels of I-35, the places that typically pool up pretty quickly, you need to watch out for. So just give yourself some extra time trying to get where you need to go.
Yeah, and as long as we don't get flooding, I'm bring all the rain I can get.
Yes.
I want all the rain. And I've learned some, some new rainy day activities to do, like sit on the back porch and drink beer and listen to Led Zeppelin. I like that.
Very, very nice.
Yeah.
And you have a great recommendation as we are mourning the passage of Willie Mays at the age of 93. You have reminded us there is on Max, formerly known as HBO Max, there is a Willie Mays documentary that you say is very good.
Say, hey, kid, it's there. Check it out.
Very, very
You'll
cool.
like it.
Yes. And we'll still see, Charity, whether or not this turns into Tropical Storm Alberto. Hasn't happened yet. I just want to remind you, Charity, after Alberto, there's Beryl
And
would be the
then-
next one. And the third storm would be Chris.
Oh.
Tropical Storm or Hurricane Chris.
Yeah, you have to be conflicted about that, Chris.
I'm
I mean,
very
you want it to
conflicted.
pack a punch, but at the same time, you don't want it to be.
Yeah, I don't want to do any damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to just I want people to appreciate my storm, but I don't want anybody getting hurt. Don't want
So-
any loss of life.
Make it rain, Chris.
Yes,
make it rain.
And Chris, will
Yes.
you rock us like a hurricane?
I will rock you like a hurricane.
What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Okay.
After Chris, there's Debbie. Debbie doesn't sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is
Yeah.
Debbie going to do? Dallas? Is it going to go into the?
There's
okay.
there's no ocean there, so
Yeah.
no.
Mm.
And then after Debbie is Ernesto. Ernesto
Ooh.
Ancira.
Okay.
Love that man.
Okay.
Good local philanthropist and businessman.
Mm-hmm.
So just saying. I still the greatest. We said this the other day, Charity, when you were at the greatest hurricane name ever, Beulah. Hurricane Beulah, like in the late '60s, early '70s. I think it hit Corpus Christi.
It was a bad one.
Bad
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
Beulah. I'm not messing with Beulah.
No, sir.
Now, Hurricane Debbie, I could have cocktails.
I want to be on the committee that comes up with these names. I mean, I feel like we could do better. Nothing wrong with Chris, by the way. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
The other names.
What's this,
yeah.
Chris?
Yeah.
And has there been a Hurricane Charity?
No.
Come on.
No.
We
No.
need a Hurricane Charity.
I don't think that would jive. I don't think they would go for that.
I would love.
I've donated to a hurricane charity, but never
Well,
her. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But-
Yeah.
Well, Charity, welcome back.
Thanks.
It was great to have you back. We will do this again tomorrow. We'll keep an eye on the weather all day. Oh, tomorrow's the first day of summer, by the way. Summer solstice, 3:50 p.m. tomorrow. So we'll celebrate that tomorrow. All right, Charity's got everything you need to know here at the top of the hour, then Glenn Beck. But right now, your Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Hello.
All right,
Okay.
everybody. Ben,
All right, everybody have a great day.
Kemper,
Stay dry.
Tommy, Alan, Alan, is it Alan? It's Alien Reptiles of Texas.
Alien, yeah.
Alien Reptiles of Texas.
All right, have a good day, everybody.
See y'all later.